Shazazz Creations, your one-stop shop when it comes to customization. Totes, tees, tumblers, hats, and more. Looking for a customized gift idea for a graduation, birthday party, baby shower, or just a unique creation of your own? Check out Shazazz Creations as seen here on Whitney D TV. Female, black owned. Use my promo in the description box down below and let her know Whitney D of Whitney D TV sent you. Thank you. Bye.
What's up, Jewel Gang? So I would like to address this white woman who goes by the name of Nikki Marie on Facebook. Her page is private, but her DMs are wide open. You see, this scarecrow thought it'd be a good idea to slide in a black woman's DM, bully and harass her over having a small disability. Pause and read. Pause and read. Pause and read. You see, this beautiful black woman you decided to harass for having a small disability, when being compared to you is walking art. Black women are literally walking Picassos, which is why snow roaches like you envy us so much. You look like the cashier at HEB that has to call the manager every 5 seconds because you're too stupid to work the register. You look like splattered bird shit dried up on the side of someone's car. You couldn't match her beauty if she gave you an audio booklet with a step-by-step description on how to do so. And between me and you, I'm the bigger bully. Sit your ass down.
Think you got game, but you really lame. Think you really think you could play me? Well, you better think again. When you say these girls ain't loyal, but you got 7 girls take the damn phone. Now tell me who's really loyal? It ain't you. These boys ain't loyal, talking about us girls, saying that we all bodies. But us girls will hold it down, pick you up when you down, and give you anything you want. You're trying to run game that's already been paid, gonna get your heart broken. Do you know who you are dealing with? Liar, liar. Thought you were slick. Liar, liar. But I'll always be tired. Liar, liar. Thought you were slick, but I'll always be tired.
What up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. If you're new, don't be. Go ahead and click that subscribe button to be a part of the Witness gang, to join the Witness Nation. Now, let's get into this, shall we? Hello, you guys, and welcome to the channel. If you're new, don't be.
I'm Whitney.
What up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I pray you guys are having a super stupid blessed Wednesday, to say the least, because you know what? I'm excited about today. It's a beautiful day. And the best is still yet to come for us. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get into a slew of things on today that I'm excited to present to you guys. Wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. Before we get into everything, I'm going to get into these good old comments. Okay, but before we start anything, gotta wake y'all up.
I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment.
Let me with this. Let me with this. Let me with this. Let me. Y'all gotta kill me. Let me with this. Let me with this. Let me with this. Let me with. Let me there. Gotta kill me. Let me there. Gotta kill me. Y'all wanna believe it? Gotta kill me.
I love that darn song. Welcome to the channel, you guys. If you're new, don't be. Go ahead and click this subscribe button to be a part of the Witness gang, to join the Witness Nation. Okay, I pray you guys are having a blessed morning. I'm sorry I'm coming to you guys so early, but oh my gosh, it's just been a great update. I've discovered some things, so we're going to get into everything, okay? But before we do, let me give a shout out to everybody here. Hi, Linda Binda. Good morning. How are you, my love? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Nikki Ricky. Hey, Nikki Ricky. Hey, honey. Good morning to you, too. Hey, Jade. Good morning. Hey, sweet and humble spirit. Good morning. Good morning, mom, life, love. Hello, honey bunches of oats. Good morning. Hi, hey, Alice. Good morning. Welcome back. Hey, everybody. Let me see, make sure I don't miss anybody. Hey, Linda Binda. Okay. So good morning to everybody. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into everything. Like I said, I do apologize for coming so early to you guys, but I wanted to get everything out because we will be coming back on tonight for, drum roll, please. Our, I want to say what, second episode of Where Were the Parents, where we take worldwide situations that we look at and we ask, where were the parents? So you guys come back here, same bad place, same bad time at 7:30, and we're going to get into some teens. Okay. To be honest with you, I'm going to probably be covering two stories on tonight. Okay. Two different stories on tonight. One pertaining to Faith's parents. I was like, okay, I already had a parent lined up. We're going to still look at. However, I said, you know what? Since we were reading the transcripts in regards to Faith, and we're going to continue that on today, how about I go ahead and get into her parents, see what's up with her parents, right? So tune in tonight for our second installment of Where Were the Parents, okay? All right, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to the R.Kelly case open discussion. This is where I tend to pull some of my clippings from, as well as any transcripts or etc. for the most part. So shouts out to them. You guys head on over to Facebook and give them some love, okay? Not for nothing, you guys. Again, welcome to the channel. I pray you guys are doing good. Anybody that new comes in, mods, say hey. Well, actually, you guys say hello to everybody. We got some new people. Hi, Shantae. Hey, honey bunches. Welcome. Hey, Diva. Oh, Diva says, I've been to watch all these videos for the past 5 days. Lord, oh, good, good, good. Well, I got some more exclusive stuff. I, I don't know. It's not necessarily exclusive, but we're going to be covering a lot on this particular live. I'm in the process of breaking down my lengthy lives that are like 2 to 3 hours long. And the segments, I'm cutting them out for you guys. Okay. So I will be uploading those today. Okay. So people were like, man, this live is so long, it's good information. So I'm in the process of cutting them down. Okay. I got you. I'm starting from last night. We had 3 hours in. So I'm cutting that down for you guys, and I'll be getting those segments out of there. Okay. Now, today we're going to be discussing some updates in regards to the R.Kelly trial. You guys, he is not going to be testifying. Hallelujah. I swear they be looking at my channel. What I say, they should not put his narrow behind on that stage. They shouldn't. It would be devastating, to say the least. Him or Joy should not be on that stand. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to hear information in regards to that. I'm then going to be reading the transcripts of Faith RODGERS, y'all. And not only that, we got a copy of Soul Coaster, y'all. Do y'all know what that is? The Diary of Me. Who? R.Kelly. Yes, y'all. Solar Coaster. Solar Coaster. The Diary of Me. We're going to be reading that. Okay. The whole book itself is 343 pages, and you're going to hear all of it here on Whitney DTV. Okay. Now, today, it's not going to be like an official day that I read it. It's going to be probably more so like either on a Tuesday or Thursday that I'll be reading the book. Okay. Now, while you guys are here, let me know if you want me to pre-read it and just upload it and you guys can just listen, or do you want me to read it live? Okay. So in the chat, if you guys can put in, and in the comments, if you guys hear this later, put either pre-read or live. Put that in the chat. Okay. If you can put that in the chat, please, that will help me out so much. Okay. Let me put a little banner. Put live or pre-read in the chat for me. Okay. And that will help me so much to be able to decide how to go by doing this book reading. Okay. And majority rules. If I see more people saying live, then that's what I'll do. And I'll designate a time and a date so you guys will know without shout out. Okay. She's going to be reading the book, the R.Kelly book, on Wednesday at 6 o'clock. I need to make sure I remind and all this stuff like that. Okay. So put that in there for live or pre-read. Okay. Now, we're also going to be, yeah, that's it. So we're going to do some updates today. We're going to read the transcripts of Faith RODGERS, and then we're going to get into the book of R.Kelly. And know that if you guys missed it on last night, y'all, Miss Kelly RODGERS was in my chat. She was in my chat, y'all. The mother of Faith was in my stinking chat. How about that? How about that? Like, that was dope. So we're going to be talking about her again on tonight. Hopefully, maybe I can get her on. You know what I'm saying? Fingers crossed. I'm working my jelly on behalf of you guys. And then just to give you guys some more exciting news, drum roll, please. The New York Times is going to be are going to be covering the story that they took from me. They told me what inserts and everything that they're going to put in there. And so they just got to finalize when it's going to be printed up. And we're going to read the article together. Yay. Right. And I got some other exciting things that are coming, but I can't say yet. But when they release it, we're going to watch it. There go a little tidbit right there. But not for nothing. Yeah, you guys are on the winning team, to say the least. Thank you guys for supporting me so stinking much. I love y'all so much. Like, for real, for real. I mean, all 26 of y'all that decided to watch right now. Thank y'all so much. I know it's early. I know. I do apologize. Like I said, I'm trying to get this out so I can rest up for tonight. Okay. Because it's going to be a lot tonight. Okay. Anywho, let me go ahead and get into the spiel of everything. Welcome, you guys, to Whitney DTV. Okay, welcome. Let me know where you guys are tuning in if you haven't done so already. If you don't care to, it's okay. Welcome. All right. Not for nothing, make sure you guys keep it cute or you will get the boot. You do not have to agree with what I'm saying or my views about anything, but I ask that you are respectful of my platform. When you respect me, you respect you. And if you give respect, I'll give it back to you tenfold, okay? Not for nothing, please do not spam my chat with your hashtag free R.Kellys or free R.Kellys. Don't see that happening. But I understand you guys want to show your support, and that's all gravy, baby. Okay. But make sure you guys go to a channel that supports it. I guarantee you he's not looking at my channel. Okay. But not for nothing, you guys. You can roam freely on this channel. If you have a disagreement, feel free to state so, okay? In the meantime, in between time, make sure you guys like, share this video and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already, okay? Sharing gets absolutely stinking caring, and it will go very far for my channel. That's the biggest way. Aside from subscribing to the channel, it's the biggest way to show your support for Whitney D TV, especially if you want to see the channel grow, okay? Now, if you would like to take it a step further and not only subscribe to the channel, like this video and share this video, you can join the channel. That's right. You can join the channel and support me on a month-to-month basis, okay? And we have a few tiers that you can choose from that will help with your to be budget friendly, okay? And the link is in the chat right now, okay? Give me a moment. I can pin it up for you guys. All right. And make sure you guys get my attention for any new people that subscribe or, well, not that come in. Y'all take care of that. But any new subscribers, let me know. Okay. Now, last but not least, if you look at the bottom of your screen, yes, that's right. You can engage in the chat and let me know what you think about the topic, as well as you can donate to the channel, okay, monetarily to help go back into the channel. Okay. You see where your money is going. Okay. As far as the graphics, as far as all of that. Okay. It's high quality over here. I try to. All right. And just to answer this, my background is not green screen. Okay. That's a real background. Okay. Like I said, I go hard for my craft. Okay. And I invest in myself, especially, if things look good here, it looks good for you guys viewing. Okay. So you know where your money is going. All right. So Cash App down below, as well as PayPal is down below, and my Zelle information is down below. Okay. So that will stay there, and you guys can sew on to me and my channel. Thank you guys so very much. That's a spew. Phew. I know everybody gonna be in my comments. Oh my God, you're so long-winded. Oh, the beginning. Well, I have to get all that information out, you guys. Goodness, okay. But not for nothing, you guys. Again, welcome and hello. Let's go ahead and get into some updates in regards to this R.Kelly trial. It is nearing its end if it has not already closed. In regards to everything, but I ask you guys sincerely from the bottom of my heart, if it's not closed, we need that $100, you guys. We were not successful with meeting our goal. So if you guys can please, all right, please. This no longer is the travel pay for the Kang's 6 witnesses. This will be for his transfer from New York to Illinois. Okay. We have to make sure that he gets there safely. And we're actually going to raise money in regards to getting him a better legal team. Because, like I told you guys, they were going to be talking. They were going to be saying how unfair this trial is. So we want to make sure that Illinois is more fair for him. Case in point, this is a tweet from his prior representative, Steve. And this is what he said in response. He said, I genuinely hope R.Kelly wins, but if he loses, the analysts will have to start with Nicole and Tom, who exploited him and placed Kanik in the position of starting with both hands tied behind his back. I told you that if he didn't have fair representation, that they were going to do this. All right. I told y'all that they were going to be doing this. Oh no, Alice, this is all a joke, girl. This is not real. I found this online. I thought it was funny. But, let's be fair here. They didn't get a fair trial. Okay, you heard it here first. They did not get a fair trial with these ignorant lawyers. So at this time, I'm gonna have to agree with this particular post. I would have to agree. Not for nothing, you guys. Let's go ahead and get into this update in regards to this Kelly trial. Let's see what had happened. Was I told you guys that he was not going to take the stand. Let's see exactly more information in regards to that, so you won't be just hearing it from me. Okay.
To be just days away from a verdict in R. Kelly's sex trafficking and racketeering trial. The defense could wrap up its relatively brief presentation as early as tomorrow, after less than 3 days of testimony. Compare that to the 4.5 weeks of testimony by prosecution witnesses. All right, here to continue the conversation about what we could expect to see as this high-profile trial concludes is criminal defense and civil rights lawyer Tony Thetford. Glad to have you back.
Thanks for having me again, Yodit.
You followed R. Kelly's legal battles over the years. You've never defended him, but you have worked closely with attorneys in Chicago who have. What makes this case different and much more significant?
Well, it's much more significant, first of all, because we're in federal court. And I think the racketeering charges alone up the ante. They're using an accumulation of alleged victims and other witnesses to tell their story. They being the government, who are obviously prosecuting this case, they're using those people to craft their story. And as I indicated when I was here before, this is an overwhelming case by the government in terms of the number of witnesses and what they have articulated has happened. So it is a different case in that sense. When the case was tried here in Chicago in 2008, it was far more limited. It was focused on the specific issue, essentially, of whether or not the video that showed sex between what was alleged to be R. Kelly and the minor, whether that in fact was R. Kelly. So it was a limited issue in that case. Here, there are multiple issues, and where a defendant may be successful in one area, failure in another area could still result in a conviction. So it's the stakes are significantly higher, and I think a conviction here will lead to significant jail time, which may cause R. Kelly to spend the rest of his life behind bars.
Now, I think a lot of people assume that because the defense's case in chief is so short, that means R. Kelly doesn't have a strong case. Can you explain to viewers the burden of proof in a criminal trial and why a defense team will often choose not to call many, if any, witnesses at all?
Sure. The burden of proof is on the state or on the government in this case. What they must do is prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the allegations that they've made, that the charges that have been brought against him can be proved beyond a reasonable doubt. So the prosecution tends to bring multiple witnesses, more witnesses than the defense would bring in most cases, because the prosecution has that burden of proof. Here, the defense can choose to remain silent and say nothing and simply argue that the government has not met its burden in this case. Now, that is not clearly what the Kelly defense team has chosen to do. They've chosen to call witnesses. What they intend to do with those witnesses is to essentially throw shade on portions of the prosecution's case, to directly target certain pieces of their case, those elemental portions of their case, in order to establish reasonable doubt. Again, the defense does not have to get the jury to completely believe in the innocence of R. Kelly in that sense. They've got to build a case which causes the jury to doubt, essentially, the prosecution's witnesses, and to doubt whether or not they made the elements necessary in order to prove those charges that they brought against R. Kelly.
Can you explain why a person would choose not to testify in their own defense, and why R. Kelly has made that decision here? Because most people would assume that it's because they're actually guilty, but that's not the case.
Well, fortunately, we're protected by the presumption of innocence in our judicial system in this country. I would venture to guess that most defense attorneys in this spot would not call R.Kelly to testify. I certainly would not. One thing that happens when a defendant testifies is that defense attorneys can focus on the government's burden or the government's witnesses or the weaknesses in the government's case up until the point the defendant testifies. Once the defendant testifies, all the jury cares about is the defendant's credibility, how the defendant looks. Does it look like he's lying? Is he lying? Did he say anything that was contradictory? The entire case essentially hinges on what the defendant would say if he were to testify. Here, R.Kelly, because of the accumulation of allegations against him over a course of years, it's likely impossible for R.Kelly to attempt to address each one of those allegations. Some of those allegations that are part of the charges in this case, other allegations are made to paint a picture of R.Kelly, including allegations about punishment, allegations regarding yelling at these multiple girlfriends, even having to explain why he lived in a home with multiple partners. All of those things would be difficult for any defendant. It would certainly be difficult for R.Kelly in this case. It is the wise decision for the defense to simply focus on the government's case and to try to poke holes in those witnesses and those allegations that have been brought without bringing R.Kelly into it in terms of his testimony.
Tony, jurors want to hear from the defendant, especially in cases like these, even though they understand that legally a defendant doesn't have to. But the defense called on a few witnesses. Yesterday, the jury heard from a police officer who had perjured himself in a previous trial. And today, they heard from other former employees who've all said the same thing, that they've never seen Kelly act inappropriately or criminally with underage girls and women. Will their testimony be enough to create doubt in the mind of at least one juror?
I am not sure. And if you compare yesterday's witnesses, including the former Chicago police officer, who I'm assuming the defense brought for credibility, he was their strongest witness, and he was immediately essentially debunked because he's a felon. He has a criminal record, and he misrepresented that or tried to avoid the fact that he had pled guilty to a perjury charge some years ago. So that really dismantled that witness as a credible witness. The witnesses today were not impeached with past criminal conduct. However, they had limited scope in terms of those portions of R. Kelly's life or his dealings with the witnesses in this case for the prosecution. They had very limited time with R. Kelly, so they could not testify honestly to the breadth of all of the charges and all of the allegations that were brought here. I really believe that the defense, in order to close strong, really needs to bring a witness who is a powerful witness, their best witness. Frankly, I think they need to bring a female witness if they have one, because again, R. Kelly's alleged to have committed these crimes against female victims. And so again, I think that for staging more than anything else, they need to bring a female witness, and that female witness needs to be able to attack significant portions of the government's case. I think that needs to happen here in order for the defense to have a chance, frankly.
Well, they're apparently going to call one more witness tomorrow, so my bet is that it won't be a female witness, but we'll have to wait and see. Criminal defense and civil rights lawyer Tony Thetford, thank you so much for your insight.
All right, you guys heard that update. So we can confirm that Kelly will not be taking the stand, as we are not surprised behind that, because duh, he shouldn't be taking the stand. Like, I think that's completely asinine for him to do so. That would really jeopardize the case. Why? Because, like, what are you going to say? What exactly can you say in response to all these allegations that have been placed upon you? I myself wouldn't have thought that was a smart tactic to take. Not for nothing, let's go ahead and get into these transcripts. Oh, okay. Why I keep doing that? Hold on, y'all. Okay, there it goes. Let's go ahead and get into these transcripts. We are going to be reading Faith Rogers' transcripts. Hold on. Let me get it pulled up. And then we're going to get into the book. Actually, you know what? Let's do that backwards. Let's get into this book first. I'm super excited in regards to this book. Okay, let's get into this book first. Let me give y'all the gusto up front. Then we'll get into the transcripts afterwards. All right, you're hearing it here. Let's get into it. It's exciting. All right. I introduce you guys to Soul Coaster, okay? Soul Coaster, all right? Soul Coaster. The Diary of Me, written by R.Kelly. Is that picture in itself is rather sad, if you ask me. All these microphones around him. You know what I'm saying? And then he stays in glasses. And I heard that he can't make eye contact with a man. Yeah, he can't make eye contact with a man. He keeps them glasses on. His head is down. He's all discombobulated. So that's sad and unfortunate. But let's go ahead and get into this book, okay? Written by R.Kelly. Soul Coaster. Let's see. Copyright by Robert Sylvester Kelly. Okay. All right. So this is his stuff. So this is a pretty old book, but let's see. And the reason why I'm wanting to get into this now in present day, can you imagine what's in this book? And if he already, again, like that song I was telling y'all, like I admitted, okay, he gave away so much information in that book. I mean, in that song. I wonder how this freaking book is going to play about. So let's get into it, okay? Solar Coaster, The Diary of Me. R.Kelly with David Ritz. I dedicate this book of my mother. Wait, what? Did they let this nigga write this book? I dedicate this book of my mother. I think he meant I dedicate this book to my mother, Joanne Kelly, and my second mom, teacher and pastor, Linda McLean. And y'all know this is the same woman who was on the Surviving R.Kelly. But you know what? Hold on. Let me do this because where I'm almost in my cutoff. Okay. I don't want to be bouncing around, but let you guys decide. I said, you know what? I'm gonna start doing that. When I have multiple topics, majority is going to win. Do y'all want me to go ahead and get into the book, or do you guys want me to read the transcripts of Faith? So y'all tell me. I'll let y'all decide. I'm gonna do that like that. So put in the chat Faith or book. Faith or book. Faith or book. I'm reading either one today. So y'all either want me to read Faith or the book. Yeah, or you can put transcripts or book in there. That's fine. Transcripts or book. Transcript is going to be of Faith. So either put Faith in there or book. Okay, I'm seeing Faith. Okay, so y'all prefer the transcript? Okay. 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 He really loved his mother. Yeah. Faith. Okay. Well, majority win. You guys. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. I'll read the transcript. I'm happy I asked y'all that. And see, that's why I like doing that over here. Because, I mean, y'all what keeps people, what keep me going. Faith. Okay. Majority win. That's all I need to know. And you see how simple that was? I love y'all. Thank y'all. Because y'all could have just had me out here looking greasy. Just reading these daggone transcripts. And y'all like, all right, Whitney. All right, girl. Yeah. And would have left y'all but smooth on up out of her. I would have just watched my numbers just dwindle. Ha! So I appreciate that. I'm sorry, Miami James, Honey Bunches. Majority wins. Majority rules. And you're the only person that said the book, Honey Bunches. I'm sorry. I mean, this book is old, so I think some people have already read it. So, yeah. But let me give you guys another choice. Okay? Okay. All right. Don't kick my butt, but I have Faith's transcripts and I have Holly's. Yeah. So, which one do y'all prefer? Which one do y'all prefer? Do y'all want me to read Faith's or Holly's transcripts or Haley, whatever that girl name is? Which one? Faith's or Holly's? Ooh, Miami, you know who Holly is? Let me look her up for you. I'm gonna show you. And y'all show me and tell me which one. I'm gonna show you who Holly is. Yeah, buddy. They were talking about, oh, he loved her. He didn't treat her no different. Let me show y'all. She was one on the Breakfast Club or whatever that was. Yeah, there she go. That's Holly, y'all. This is Holly. One of his, y'all say that like she was the only girlfriend. Yeah, no, that's her. So y'all tell me which one y'all prefer. Yes, ma'am. I got it all, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I heard Haley sang on the stand. Yeah, y'all, that's Holly. I got her transcripts, and she was on Surviving R.Kelly. So y'all tell me, do you want me to finish with Faith's, or do you want me to do Holly's transcript reading? Y'all can put an F or H, or y'all can put the whole thing in it, but I need to know. We got to get started, y'all. But I have both of them. Taylor said this is hard. Hey, y'all got choices. This y'all channel. I'm just the overseer of it. Y'all, this is y'all channel. Y'all let me know. Come on, put them in. Come on, put them in. I need to see an H or F or the whole name. Come on. Let's get reading. Uh-oh. What about them parents? They have the biggest fault as well. What are you talking about, Pooh Black? What? That's so random, love. We're not even talking about that. So I'm just warning you, okay? Can you please stay on topic, all right? What we're choosing right now is transcript reading, okay? So please stay on topic. Uh-oh. I'm seeing a lot of H's. I'm seeing a lot of H's, y'all. I'm thinking Holly's gonna win. We're gonna be reading Holly's transcripts. Uh-oh. We're gonna read a few of her transcripts, and I think you guys are kind of are like taken aback by her. Let me see if we can pull up a clip of her real quick, and we're gonna get into it. But I have her transcripts. Jay said Faith because you started with her. Oh, look at all these elves. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna play. I'm not gonna play. Okay. Okay. All right, y'all. Okay. All right. Well, I was trying to play her little clip from the show. Here she go. Another man or talking or texting.
Or he thought I was looking at another man or talking or texting or something like that. But we got into an altercation. And I remember we were arguing back and forth. And I remember shoving him because he was like yelling in my face. And then he like grabbed me, and I had a necklace on. So when he grabbed me, my necklace broke and it scratched me. That's just like any other relationship normally, you know? People get into altercations, things happen.
So I ask you again, do y'all want to hear from Faith or you want to hear about Holly or Haley? Faith, and Faith again. Hey, Jada. Okay. All right. Okay. So let me see. Okay. Faith. Hey. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of Faith. So we'll finish Faith. We'll finish Faith. All right. We're finna head to Faith then, y'all. I tried, but I got Haley's, y'all. I got hers. I'm so interested in her for the simple fact how she sat up there on that stand and she said what she said. So, all right, you guys, let's go ahead and get into these transcripts. Excuse me. But allegedly, her mom was coerced into doing some stuff herself. Mm-hmm. So, you know. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Can y'all tell me where I left off at? Y'all let me know where I left off at. Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's get into these transcripts. All right. I don't think we got that far into it because we stopped. But y'all, if y'all can confirm with me and let me know where we stopped off at. Okay. Matter of fact, I think I wrote it down. I think. Okay. It left off about her the blackmail. Yeah. Okay. No. That was her mom. Yeah, y'all. We read about her mom. I'm sorry I wasn't here earlier. It's okay. It's all right. You're just on time, baby. All the first part of it was just us shooting the ish. I think Haley's mom denied having to be naked in the sauna writing letter originally. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm starting this series about where are the parents, because we're going to get into these parents on trial, you know, although they're not on trial, but you know, their lives. Okay, here we are. I found it, y'all. Okay. Well, yeah, we left off and they were asking for her to describe the atmosphere of the place. Okay. So here we are, y'all. We are about to finish. Okay, let's get into this. All right. I'm excited, y'all. Okay, good choice. Know that I'm going to read all the transcripts eventually. Okay. All right. Again, shouts out to the R.Kelly case open discussion. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. And the blackmail, you guys, was her mom's testimony, y'all. And her mom's testimony transcripts was just 18 pages. That was short. And like I said, I'm going to be cutting down everything on separate videos so you guys will be able to watch them, you know, individually. All right. So Faith is asked about the atmosphere okay, of when she went after the after party or whatever. And so this is what she said. When we got there, it was mainly all women. There was a few men in the room. The men that were in the room, they were his staff. They had on staff shirts with his face on it as well. And I would say probably like maybe 30 women in there. Some of them I saw from the concert because they were sitting on stage on the couch, and some I had never seen before. Whoa, y'all hear her drop that nugget? Some of them I saw from the concert because they were sitting on stage on the couch. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? So basically, she just confirmed seeing the other girls, y'all, on stage. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. One second, y'all. I'm moving around. Hold on 1 second. Give me a second. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Hopefully y'all can hear me. I'm having to move around, so I do apologize. But did y'all catch that? Some of them I saw from the concert because they were sitting on stage on the couch. That goes along with all of the other testimony. And y'all remember last night, for those that were tuning in, Veronica says I'm lost. So what does that mean? Okay, I'm gonna break it down. Okay, I'm gonna break it down. Put a thumbs up in the chat if y'all can hear me first, because like I said, I had to exchange my mic. Thank you, baby. I had to turn my mic off. I'm about to change it. Make sure you put a thumbs up or something. Matter of fact, that's okay. I got my mic right here. We good. All right, that's better. Okay. So what that means is hold on, crap. Like I said on last night, if you guys were here, okay, I released some exclusive images of the Clarys getting arrested because they were running on stage to try to get Azriel because she was where? On stage. Okay. And so I released those, and y'all got to check out that video to see it. But that corroborates with her seeing the girls there on stage, people, and they were saying in the the transcripts and the testimonies of them, like, you know, they would go to concerts. It corroborates them and puts them in exactly where they said they were. Basically, that's all I say. It's not really major, but she can confirm that she saw the girls, that she was in their presence. She can also say if they looked like they was dressed a weird way, or you know what I'm saying. So that's the reason why this is kind of like significant. It's like, oh, interesting. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Now, I mean, those that get it. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Veronica. Yeah. You know, so it's important, but it's not really important, if that makes sense. So it goes on to say, was your sister there? She said, correct. Was music playing? She said, there was music playing. Was there any alcohol being served? She goes on to say, and this is a no-no too on R.Kelly's part. Was there any alcohol being served? She says yes. Ciroc was being served. Now, the issue with that, she was underage. She was 19 at the time. And so you can't sell alcohol to minors. Okay? She goes on to say, the lawyer goes on to say, anyone check your ID before you went to the dressing room? She said no. Then they go on to ask, well, when you first got to the dressing room, was the defendant there? She said no, he was not. Then it goes on to say, at some point while you were in the dressing room, did you, I think she's saying, did the defendant show up? And then she goes on to say, hold on, y'all. Get this. And y'all had to, I had to move out of my set because my husband was coming out to work. So I apologize, y'all. So I'm all disarray. I don't have a mouse no more, so I have to use my fingers. Hold on. Okay. All right. Anyways, no, he was not. At some point while you were in the dressing room, did you see the defendant, or did the defendant show up? She says he did. She was asked, what happened at that point? She goes on to say, when he came in, he kind of just stood there at first. And everybody, all the women in the room got excited. They all ran up to him. They all had their phones out. Let's see what she says. Ready to record. Right away, he said, no phones. Everybody put their phones away. And after that, they all just formed a line to give him a hug. Did you get in that line? She said, I did not. What y'all gotta understand, Faith was not checking for R.Kelly. She wasn't checking for him. Child. She wasn't checking for him. Hey, let me. Hey, you guys coming in. Let's continue. Okay. That's the reason why I was so anxious to hear her testimony, because she really wasn't checking for him. And, and she really, had somewhat of a, I won't say normal, but somewhat of a decent relationship with him. And maybe because she was older. I don't know. Let me get a chair because I'm yelling. Okay, y'all, my apologies again. Okay. Did you get in the line? She said, I did not. How about your sister? Did she get in the line? She said she did. What, if anything, did you do while your sister was in line to meet the defendant? Mind you, again, y'all, that's the reason why she went to begin with, because it was her sister. She didn't care to go. Okay? She didn't care to be there. She didn't care about R.Kelly like that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. That's why I'm excited. Okay. What, if anything, did you do while your sister was in line to meet the defendant? Well, she says after my sister was in line, I was waiting for her to come back, holding her spot for her. Did your sister end up meeting the defendant? She says she did. What, if anything, did you and your sister do after she stood in line and met the defendant? She goes on to say, well, after she stood in line, we continued to be off to ourselves. We were singing, dancing to the music, and he came towards me. When you say he, who are you referring to? R.Kelly. And what happened next? He came towards me and my sister where we were sitting, and there was a chair behind me. He sat behind the chair. I stopped dancing when he sat in the chair. He said, "You don't have to stop now." Ooh. How, if at all, did you respond? She says, I kind of looked at him. I laughed it off right away. He smiled back a quick hi, and shortly after that, he handed me a piece of paper with his number on it. What the hell? She says, who handed you the piece of paper? She says, R.Kelly. What, if anything, did he say to you when he handed you the piece of paper? She says, he told me to grab his hand. When I grabbed his hand, there was a piece of paper with his phone number on it. And he was like, when I give you the paper, don't make a big deal about it or tell anybody I gave it to you. He told me to text him the numbers and a picture of myself, so he knew it was me. I just nodded and said, okay. At some point after you received the piece of paper from the defendant, did you look at it? She says yes, later that night. What was on the piece of paper? She says 2 of his phone numbers. You testified earlier that you ultimately saw the defendant after meeting the defendant at this concert. You ultimately saw him on various occasions until about February 2018, correct? She says correct. Now, during that course of time, did the defendant provide you with additional phone numbers for him in addition to the 2 of you got that evening at the concert? She says yes. The lawyer goes on to say, I'm showing the witness only what is marked for identification as Government's Exhibit 206A. This is a 2-page document. I'm going to show you the first page, then the second page. Do you recognize these pages? She says yes. Generally speaking, what are they? She says his phone numbers on my cell phone. Now, are these photographs of the defendant's phone numbers in your cell phone? She says correct. Ms. Shahada says, I move to admit Government's Exhibit 206A. Mr. Koenig, no objection. The judge, that's in evidence. Government Exhibit 206A was received in evidence. Ms. Shahada says, may we publish it? The judge says yes. Ms. Shahada says, looking first at the first 206A, are there 4 numbers saved there? She says yes. The lawyer goes on to, oh gosh, that would buy fast. I need a mouse. The lawyer goes on to ask, and what is it saved under? She says, don't reply, ×3. Child, she was not checking for him. Man, say, did y'all hear that? And what is it saved under? What was his number saved under? Don't reply times 3. Child. Okay. The lawyer says, did you always have the defendant's number saved in your phone under don't reply times 3? She said no. What did you previously have the numbers saved under in your phone? Y'all, she says, Daddy. Child. That was a flip, right? Went from daddy to don't reply times 3. Anywho, the lawyer says, I'm showing the second page of Government's Exhibit 206A. Now, is there one number here under a name, don't reply? She says yes. Whose phone number is that? R.Kelly. When you initially saved this phone number in your phone, did you have it under don't reply? She says no. Do you recall what you had saved under? She says, Daddy. The lawyer says, going back to when the defendant handed you a piece of paper in that dressing room with his phone numbers on it, what if anything happened after the defendant handed you that piece of paper? Well, she goes on to say, after he handed me the piece of paper, he had invited me and my sister back to his room for food. My sister wanted a picture as well, so we ended up going to his dressing room. Oh, gosh, this is so annoying. This page doing this. When you say we ended up going to his dressing room, who are you referring to? She states, my sister and I. Who took you? Withdraw. Was that a separate dressing room than where you had been with the other people initially backstage? Faith says yes. It was his personal dressing room we were going to. Who took you there? She was asked. R.Kelly and his staff. Once you got that second dressing room, was anyone else there? She asked. She said, no. What happened once you got to that second dressing room? She answers, when we got to the dressing room, it was just him, me, and my sister. We were sitting down. The first thing we did was ask. The first thing he did was ask me if I sing, if I model, if I act, I danced, anything I was into. And I let him know at the time, no, just school. That's it. Oh, see, Faith is different, yo. She was different from the beginning. He had said, he asked if we were sisters. We said yes. He asked who was older, things like that. He asked if she sung or she did anything. She told him she sung. The conversation, it wasn't that long. He was informing us about some new stuff he was working on, showing pictures of Rihanna wearing his t-shirt with his face on it. I guess just giving me updates of what? Hold on. Of what was going on at that time. He played some new tracks from his phone. We got to hear new music. It was a friendly conversation. You said you were telling him you were in school, correct? Yes. Were you in school at the time? She says yes. Now, what were you studying at the time? She says generally studied. I was enrolled in UTSA. Did he ask you questions about your schooling? She says no. While you were up in that second dressing room, did you take any photos? She says yes. Can you tell the jury about that? She goes on to say, well, we ended up taking a photo with him, with my sister, R.Kelly, and I at the end of the night. Lori says, I'm showing you what is marked for identification as Government's Exhibit 209. Now, do you recognize this photo? She says yes. What do you recognize in this photo to be? She says me, R.Kelly, and my sister. Oh, Lord. I don't know what's wrong with this freaking... Hold on, y'all. Okay. I don't know what's wrong with my screen. It's acting up. Okay, let's go back. Okay, here we go. Sorry, y'all. My screen got all discombobulated. Okay, all right. Let me make it tighter because this not having a mouse thing is really freaking me out. Okay, so let me go to the next page. Okay, let me do this. Let me go to page 16. Okay, there we go. Lord Jesus, y'all, bear with me. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make sure I get it on the screen enough to where you guys can go back and read it, okay? Okay. I'm showing you what is marked for identification as Government's Exhibit 209. Do you recognize this photo? She says yes. What do you recognize this photo to be? She says me, R.Kelly, and my sister. Okay, sorry. Let me get the screen together. All right. Okay. And is that in that second dressing room you've testified about that you went to with the defendant, you and your sister? Yes. I move to admit Government's Exhibit 209. Mr. Canick, no objection. The judge says, okay. Judge says, okay. That is in evidence. Government's Exhibit 209 received in evidence. The judge says you can publish. Ms. Shahada says, thank you. She goes on to say, now, while you were in the dressing room, in that second dressing room with the defendant and your sister that evening, what, if anything, did the defendant say to you about keeping in touch? She says, he just reminded me to send him a picture of myself and my name so he wouldn't or won't, so he wouldn't forget it. She says, now at some point, did you leave the Tobin Center? She says, yes. And where did you go after you left? She asked. She says, I dropped my sister off and then I went home. She says, and who, if anyone, were you living with at the time? She says, my parents. And Lori says, and was there anyone else living in that household other than your parents? She says, my younger sister. this thing. And how old was she at the time? She was around 14. Now, you said you drove your older sister to her house. Is that right? And she says, yes. And that, if anything, did you tell your older sister about your interactions with the defendant that evening? She says, when we got in the car, I told her that he had gave me his phone number. And right away she was super excited. She was like, out of all the girls in there, like, he looked at you. She told me like I should feel special. She was really more excited than I was. Child. And again, she was an R.Kelly fan. Is that right? She says yes. Now, do you recall around what time you got home that night? Sorry, y'all. Hold on. Let me go. I'm trying to read y'all comments simultaneously. Okay, there we go. All right. Now, do you recall around what time you got home that night? She says, I got home around like 1:45, 2 a.m. almost. She says, so early morning hours after the concert. She says, yes. And what, if anything, did you do when you got home? She asked. Well, I had texted him my name and a picture, a selfie. Oh, a selfie of myself. And when you say him, who are you referring to? R.Kelly. And what kind of, you said you text him a selfie? Yes. What kind of selfie did you text him? It was a picture of me smiling, a picture of, she said, a picture of your face. There we go. It was like full body. You could see my outfit, my face, everything. Okay, and is that a picture that you already had or one that you took for that purpose? She said no. It was a picture I already had. What kind of phone did you have at the time? She says an iPhone. Them damn iPhones. She said, she asked, an Apple iPhone? He said yes. She says, all right. At some point, after you sent the selfie with your name to the defendant, at some point, did you get a response from the defendant? She says, yes, I did. And when did you first notice the response? She said, when I had woke up. And what do you remember about that? She says, we had very friendly. He said he remembered me. Said I was pretty, complimented me, and he had invited me to come where he was in San Antonio. And do you remember anything about where he invited you in San Antonio? He said he was going to a studio in San Antonio. And did you take him up on the invitation? No. Now, following those initial texts, was that by text message, by the way? She says yes. And following those initial text messages, you exchange with the defendant. What, if any, types of communications did you have with the defendant after that? She says, after that, we continued with texting. Then it moved to phone calls. And then shortly after phone calls, we started FaceTiming. And the text messages, did that include iMessages? She says yes. Now, you mentioned phone calls and FaceTime. Is that right? She says yes. What is FaceTime? She says FaceTime is video chatting. She goes on to ask, now, do you recall the substance of any of those initial communications that you had with the defendant in the days after the concert? She says the first initial conversation was very warm. He was he seemed really down to earth. Like, that's what surprised me. He seemed really down to earth. He was just telling me about himself, saying how he likes to spend his time, enjoy his time. In the beginning, he did ask a few questions about me, what I like to do, and I was into if I had a boyfriend, things like that, basic questions. She goes on to ask, now, did you end up seeing the defendant again at all in San Antonio? She said, I did not. Now, in those initial communications you had with the defendant by phone, how, if at all, did the defendant refer to himself on the phone calls? She says he refers to himself as daddy. And about how soon after you had met him did you do that? She said right away, probably like the next day. But he was saying it through text. It wasn't me hearing him call himself daddy. Lori says, at some point, did the defendant say to you anything about what he wanted you to call him? She says, yes, he would like to be referred to as daddy. And initially, did you do that? She said no. And what happened when you didn't do that? She said, there was a time when I did not refer to him as daddy, and he had called me and he said, hey, baby. And I said, hey. He said, let's try this again. And he hung up the phone. What the hell? Wow. The lawyer asked, and then what happened? She said, and then when he called again, he said, hey, baby. I said, hey, daddy. He said, good girl. And after that happened, did you call the defendant daddy? She said, I did. Now, in those initial communications with the defendant by phone, did he compliment you? She said, yes. What kinds of things did he say to you? She says, I was beautiful. I was pretty. Things a girl wants to hear, of course. She was asked, and how did that make you feel? She says, nice. It made me feel like I was pretty. After the defendant left San Antonio, about how often were you communicating with him? She says after he left San Antonio, the communication, it was like I heard from him every other day, and then maybe like a week later. It started turning into every day, and then we moved to phone, FaceTime. That's when it became more consistently. When, if at all, did the defendant tell you he loved you? Child. Are y'all seeing this? Child. Thank you, Liv. Thank you for the donation. Y'all see this? The first week. Child. The first week, y'all. The first week, this nigga said I love you to her the first week. Where they do that at? Anyways, she says, she goes on to ask, after you had first met him, she said yes. Child, this is crazy, yo. He says, she asked, and how many times had you met him in person at that point? She said once. And this nigga said, I love you. Are you kidding me? What the entire heck? Anyways. And I only saw her for a week. Once. Interacted with her for one time. One time. Okay. And this is right after he met her. Okay. And how many times had you met him in person at this point? Once. How, if at all, did you respond? She says, I said, really? I didn't say I love you back right away at all. Later on, towards our relationship further in, I did, but not right away. Child. She goes on to be asked, in your communications with the defendant, how, if at all, did the topic of your traveling to see him come up? She says he had informed me that he was on tour right now, at the time. He was on tour. So he was just saying his schedule was kind of crazy. But whenever I wanted to come see him, I could. And he just said that he could arrange the days or just let him know when I wanted to come hang out, but that it would be fun. I would get to see, how it is, how he is on tour, things like that. And did he say anything to you about who you should contact to get that set up? She says yes. He told me that his assistant, Diana, would give me her phone number and I would just text her and let her know when I wanted to come and she would arrange it. And at some point, did you contact Diana? She says, yes, I did. Do you recall around when that was? She said that was around April of 2017, I believe. And why did you contact Diana? She says, I had spoke with R.Kelly about coming to a show, so I had messaged her. And where in April, directing your attention to April 2017, where were you planning to travel to see the defendant? She says, I was supposed to be going to Chicago. And you testify you contacted Diana. Is that right? She says yes. And did she make any arrangements for you? She did. And by the way, how did you contact Diana? In what manner? We were texting, she says. I'm showing the witness only what's been marked for identification as Government's Exhibit 206B. Do you recognize this? There was a pause. Faith responds. There was a pause and she says, do you recognize this? Faith responds and says, my screen is black. The courtroom deputy says, sorry. Ms. Shahada goes on and says, do you see anything on your screen now? Faith says yes. Do you recognize government's exhibit 206B? She says yes. And what is that? A photo of a screenshot of Diana's contact in my phone. Ms. Shahada said, one moment. And so this is a screenshot of the number you had saved for Diana on your phone. She says, correct. Move to admit government's exhibit 206B, Mr. Canning. No objection. The judge. Okay, it's in evidence. Government's exhibit 206B received in evidence. Mr. Shahada goes on to say, and if we could publish it to the jury only, please. The above referred to exhibit was published. And this number that begins with area code 248, was that the number you used to communicate with Diana? She says yes. Now, did you end up traveling to see the defendant in April of 2017? She said, I did not. And why not? She says, I was sent the wrong plane ticket. Huh. And when you say you were sent the wrong plane ticket, what do you mean? And without referring to, I was sent someone else's plane ticket. Oh, oh, I wonder who plane ticket she was sent. Oh. Wow. So she was sent the wrong plane ticket. Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay, let's continue. Diana. Oh, okay, my bad. Wrong plane ticket. Ooh, I wonder who plane ticket it was, y'all. Ooh, what if she got Azrael's plane ticket or Jocelyn's? Ah! You aren't the only one. God dang, that's anyway. Okay, I'm getting off top. Okay, and when you say you were sent the wrong plane ticket, what do you mean? And without referring to, she says, I was sent someone else's plane ticket. How, if at all, did you react after? I'm sorry. Do you recall how you were sent the wrong plane itinerary or a ticket? She says, Diana had sent me the wrong plane ticket. Oh, please ask whose name was on it. Please. Diana had sent me the wrong plane ticket. Was that by email? She says through text. No, through email. And how, if at all, did you react after receiving the email with the itinerary or ticket in someone else's name? She said, I had informed Diana she sent me the wrong plane ticket. She said she would fix it. And I had let Mr. Kelly know that I had been sent somebody else's plane ticket. She asked, were you upset about that? She said, a little, like weirded out. Dang. Michelle says, I'm showing the witness only what's been marked for identification as government's exhibit 234B. Do you recognize this exhibit? She says yes. And is this an email you received from Diana Copeland on April 20th of 2017? She says yes. And does the subject line indicate flight reservations for a date in April from ATL to MDW with of a female's listed? She says yes. And is this the flight ticket or itinerary that you received that you just testified about receiving from Diana? She says yes. The lawyer says, I move to admit government's exhibit 234B and for the jury only. Mr. Kennick, no objection. The judge, okay. It's in evidence. Government's Exhibit 234B received in evidence. Ms. Shahada says, and may we publish it to the jury, please? The judge says, yes. Dang. Oh, yes. Y'all, we get to figure out who it is. Okay. And the name that the ticket that was sent to you by Diana, is that where I'm pointing my finger towards the end of the subject line? Mr. Kenneth, the screen is black. Miss Shahada, sorry. Do you see where I'm pointing? She says yes. Without saying the name, oh man. Oh man. Come on, Miss Shahada. We're trying to get our little messy juice here. Without saying the name, is that the name the ticket was sent to? She says yes. Oh man, I just knew we was gonna. I need to pull this. Oh, we can't see this evidence. It's just for jury. Dang it. Now, I think you testified when you received that ticket in another woman's name. You were weirded out. Is that right? She says yes. And let me go ahead and scooch this up. And how, if at all, did you express how you felt to the defendant after getting that email? She says, I had spoken with Mr. Kelly on the phone, and I just, in some many words, I let him know, like, I didn't really like that. I felt like that was kind of off if this was your first meeting up, and right away he told me, he kind of like laughed at me that anybody he has around him, that they are his friends. Like, he was like, he always has friends around him, and that I shouldn't be upset about a friend. Basically, that this is who he is, a part of his lifestyle, that a lot of people hang around him and they want to be in contact with him, and that if I wanted to be around him, I can't be insecure or worried about things that don't have anything to do with me. And did you continue to communicate with the defendant after that? She says yes. When, if ever, did the topic of traveling to see the defendant come up again? It came up again next month. And where were you planning to travel to see the defendant at that time? She says, this time I was planning on going to New York. She was asked, and who brought up the topic of planning to see him again or traveling to see him again? She says he did. And you testify you were planning to travel to New York. Is that correct? She says yes. What, if anything, did the defendant say to you about what was going on in New York at the time you were planning to be? He had informed me that he was having a show in New York, and that he would like for me to come hang out. Yeah, it was going to be fun. So I said yes. Now, after you and the defendant talked about traveling to the show in New York, who, if anyone, did you contact after that? She goes on to say, after we had discussed the dates, I contacted Diana to arrange my travel. And did Diana arrange for you to fly to New York to see the defendant? She says, yes, she did. And did you, in fact, travel to New York? She said, yes, I did. And how did you communicate with Diana regarding that first trip to New York? Well, we were texting. I'm showing the witness only what's been marked for identification as Government's Exhibit 208A. This is a 3-page document. Can you see this document on your screen? She says yes. And I'm starting with I'm starting with showing you the first page, second page, and the third page. Do you recognize Government's Exhibit 208A? She says yes. And generally speaking, what is contained within Government's Exhibit 208A? She says text messages between Diana and I. And are these text messages specifically related to your trip to New York? She says yes. And I move to admit Government's Exhibit 208A. Mr. Koenig, no objection. The judge, that's in evidence. Now, oh gosh, here go these spammers. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Now, around when was it that you were traveling to New York to see the defendant? She responds May 18th of what year? She says 2017. Y'all, I'm going to read a few more pages and then I'm going to stop. And we're going to actually go into Holly's transcripts. So y'all stay tuned. We're going to read a little bit of Holly's transcripts. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to be reading two different transcripts simultaneously. So we're going to still be reading Fate's. And then I'm going to pick another day to read Holly's, okay? So I'm trying to bust all these transcripts down and get them out there for you guys, okay? So we're not going to stop right now, but we're going to eventually stop reading Fate's, and then we're going to read some of Holly's today as well, okay? If that's okay. If not, y'all let me know in the chat. But we're going to read some of Holly's transcripts after this. And how old were you then? She says 19. Had you ever been to New York before? She says no. Had you ever been on a plane before? She says once before. Who, if anyone, paid for your flight to New York? She said R.Kelly paid for my flight. And did you have a direct or connecting flight to New York? Faith says it was a connecting flight. And where did it connect through? She says Nashville. And who, if anyone, did you communicate with on your way to New York? She says Diana and R.Kelly. And why were you communicating with Diana while you were on your way? She says he told me to let her know every time I stopped and when I landed. Let her know basically every time I stopped or get somewhere so she can be aware. When you say he, who are you referring to? She says R.Kelly. Now, looking at Government's Exhibit 208A, the texts, are these texts again with Diana? Faith answers yes. And the texts in green on the first page, are those texts that you sent to Diana? She says yes. And the first one, what does that say? She says just landed in Nashville. And moving down to the second text in green, what is it that you wrote to Diana there? And she says, do you know the plane for when I arrived? And where were you when you sent that text? She says, I was in Nashville on that layover. She says, yes. Now, prior to getting to New York, did you know precisely what the plane was? She said, no. All right. And then there's another text in green. Is that from you to Diana again that says my flight is about to land? She says yes. And it says that was not delivered. Do you see that? She says yes. Do you recall where you were when you sent that? She says landing on the plane. All right. Did you then at some point receive a response from Diana? She said yes. And what was your, where did she tell you to go once you landed? She said Hilton, Long Island. And is that in this message here? Hilton, Long Island, Huntington, 598 Rod Hollow Road, Melville, New York, 11747. She says yes. And what else did she inform you of in that text message? She says, a room is under my name. A room is under my name at the hotel for 2 nights. And was that the Hilton for 2 nights? She says yes. Now, after you arrived at the airport, how did you get to your hotel? She said Uber. And what, if anything, happened when you got to your hotel? She says, well, once I arrived at the hotel, there was an issue with the getting in the hotel room with whoever's name it was. Oh, I thought it was under her name. Let's see. She says, and I'm showing you page 2 of Government's Exhibit 208A. What did you do after you had an issue checking in at the hotel? She said, I text Diana. And again, on page 2, are the texts in green the text from you to Diana? She says yes. And the text in gray from Diana to you? She says yes. And who did she tell you your room, the name your room was under? She said hers. And what was her full name? She says Diana Copeland. Okay, so we're going to stop there. We're going to stop there. Okay, we're going to take this back up on a later day, but we're going to get into Holly's transcripts, okay? We're going to get into Holly's transcripts, all right? So y'all timestamp that for me in the chat so I can notate that. Timestamp when we stopped, as well as if y'all can let me know the page, which is 2157, 2157, okay? But we're about to get into Holly's transcripts. Thank you, Jade. Thank you, Jade. Okay, let me get Holly's transcripts pulled up, okay? All right. Okay. Y'all ready? Are y'all okay with me continuing on to read Holly's transcripts? Are y'all okay with that? Let me know in the chat. I'll stop here if I need to. Okay. Are y'all good? Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and get into Holly's transcripts. I'm excited about this. Now, if y'all know, again, this young lady, she was the girl that he actually kind of came out with. Okay, like he would be, as y'all saw, taking pictures with her and stuff like that. The white chick. No shade to my white subscribers. Y'all know I love y'all. So okay, let me get into it. Get into it, y'all. Okay. All right. Let's see what Holly's testimony gave. See if it gave what it was supposed to give. Okay. 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 Is this where you take off from last night? No, baby. Oh, yes, this is. I continued from last night with Faith. So you have to run it back. Yeah, you have to run it back. But we're about to get into Holly's transcripts, y'all. Okay? We're about to get into Holly. So I'm going to read a little bit of this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate it. Okay? One live is going to be me still reading Fates. And then another live is going to be me continuing Holly's. Okay? I just want to put that out there. Okay? All right. But I just wanted to go ahead and get this started simultaneously, man, because there's a lot of transcripts I got to catch up on with you guys so y'all have it. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get into Holly's transcripts. Okay. All right. Called by the government, having been first duly sworn, was examined and testified as follows. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. Get into it, y'all. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, let me get past all of this. Them talking about who they bring it in. All right. I'm sure it was in evidence as Government Exhibit 76. Do you recognize Government Exhibit 76? Holly goes on to say, yes. Sorry. Take this off the screen. Okay, I'm gonna put down at the bottom what we're reading as far as Holly Calhoun's transcripts, because I know y'all. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. Just so y'all know, if anybody else come in, y'all can refer them to the screen, kind of like school. Y'all remember that, how you be like, refer to the screen. But this is Holly's transcript reading we're going to read. Okay. There we go. Okay. She says yes. And who is that without saying your name? She says, Anna. Is it fair to say that Anna is, let me ask you this way. This photograph, is that a photograph of you? She says, correct. I'm now showing the witness, government. I'm showing just the witness what is marked as Government Exhibit 76A. Is this the same photograph that's in Government Exhibit 76? She says correct. And at bottom of the photograph, is that your true name? She says correct. Your Honor, the government moves to admit Government Exhibit 76A. Mr. Kenneth says no objection. The judge says that's an evidence. We may publish just to the jury. I'm showing just the witness what's been marked for identification purposes, Government Exhibit 76B. Do you see Government Exhibit 76B there? Holly says, correct. Is that the same photograph in Government Exhibit 76 and 76A? She says correct. And written below, do you see the name Anna there? She says correct. Now, for the purposes of today's testimony, you are going to be referred to as Anna, okay? The government moves to admit Government Exhibit 76B. Mr. Kenneth says no objection. The judge says, all right, that's in evidence. Permission to publish. The judge says yes. Question, Anna, where did you grow up? She says Greenville, South Carolina. How far did you go in school? A year and a half in college. Are you familiar with an individual named Robert Kelly, also known as R.Kelly? Hold on. Okay. Yes, I am. Have you ever met Robert Kelly in person? She says, yes, I have. Have you ever met Robert Kelly in person? She says, yes, I have. Child. Ain't gonna get her little butt. Okay, let me save this picture. All right. Sorry, y'all. Okay. And who is that? Oh, wait. She says, I'm showing what's in evidence as Government Exhibit 1. Do you recognize that? She says, yes, I do. And who is that? She says, Robert Kelly. Do you see Robert Kelly in the courtroom here today? She says, I do. Can you point him out and describe an article of clothing he is wearing? She says, light blue shirt. No shade. I'm being so serious, y'all. I'm not trying to even be funny. But what did they have this man on? Was it just me? But I was just like, I mean, do y'all remember how Cardi B would arrive to court? And it's just like, okay, let me stop. Let me finish reading the transcripts. Because I'm putting too much of my info in there. Okay. Light blue shirt. The judge says, I indicating the defendant. She goes on to say, you previously testified that you've met the defendant personally. Approximately when did you first meet the defendant? She says, I believe it was 2016 at a show in Columbia, South Carolina. And approximately how old were you when you first met the defendant? Y'all ready to see how old Miss HALLE was when she met the defendant? Let's see. I believe 19, going on 20. And how did you come to meet the defendant? Backstage at a show, at the show. And can you explain how that happened? She said, I was told he saw me walking in and wanted to meet me. Mr. Candy, objection. The judge said, overruled. Who told you? She said, whoever worked for him at the time. Did you later learn that individual's name? She said, I believe it was Bubba, his name. And what, if anything, did Bubba say to you? She says that Mr. Kelly wanted to meet me. What happened after Bubba told you that the defendant wanted to meet you? She said, I went back to the dressing room where he gets ready for his shows. We talked, and then he went and performed. And then after that, we went to the meet and greet. When you say we, who went to the meet and greet? She says, my mom and I. Oh, there goes another parent. There goes another parent in this situation, you guys. Uh-oh. And that darn Bubba getting his man's girls, right? Let's continue. And did you see the defendant at the meet and greet? She says, yes. What happened when you saw the defendant there? She said, we were all just talking. You know, he was talking to his fans. That was pretty much it. Wow. Okay. Sorry, y'all. My screen is not showing me. Uh-oh. No. I was trying to do that. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. My screen went black on me. Okay, there we go. And at any point Did you discuss getting in contact with each other at a later time? Hallie goes on to say, we exchanged numbers in the dressing room after meeting the defendant at the concert and exchanged numbers. Did you speak with the defendant again? She says, not for several months later, months after the concert. We both went separate ways. Did you communicate during that time period? She says a little bit right after, but then it was, like I said, several months that we didn't go without speaking. And at some point, did you see the defendant again? She says yes. Right. Okay. Move this down. Oh, what the hey? Okay, sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry for these mishaps. Me not being on my set is weirding me out, and I'm just all discombobulated. Okay. She says, and where did you see the defendant? She said, in Atlanta, Georgia, I believe. What were you doing in Atlanta? She said, I was there visiting a friend. Now, where did you see the defendant? She said, at his house. Do you recall where the defendant lived at the time? She said, I believe it was Johns Creek in Atlanta, Georgia. She asked, after seeing the defendant in Atlanta, did you begin to see him regularly? She says, yes. And at some point, did you enter into a relationship with the defendant? She said, correct. Okay. And what was the nature of your relationship? She said, it was like a relationship. Was it sexual in nature? Holly says, eventually, yes. And approximately at some point, did your relationship with the defendant come to an end? She said, down the line, yes. Approximately when did that happen? She says, I believe it was December of 2019. Oh, really? Really? Okay. A little bit before he. Okay. Anyways, I believe it was December of 2019. I believe I know it was December, going on New Year's. The lawyer says, approximately how long were you with the defendant? She says, sorry, 2018, I believe. So December of 2018. She says, yeah, I would say. Okay, generally speaking, how would you describe the nature of your relationship when you first started seeing the defendant? Holly goes on to say, it was cool. You know, we would always go out and have a good time. It was always fun, you know, in the beginning. Now, at some point, did things change with the defendant? Holly says yes. In what ways? Holly says in more controlling ways, I would say. The lawyer says, when you say controlling, who was controlling? Holly says, Robert. While you were seeing the defendant, did you ever travel to attend any of his concerts? Holly says, yes. And when you traveled to see his concerts in the beginning, how would you travel? She says, plane. And when you traveled by plane, who made your travel arrangements? She says, I believe Suzette. Twin. And who was Suzette? One of the assistants. One of the defendant's assistants. She said, correct. Who paid for your airfare Fair. That too. When you traveled by air. She said, I believe Robert did. And when you traveled to see the defendant, where would you stay? She said, in a hotel. And who paid for the hotels? I believe Robert did as well. Did you ever pay for a hotel out of pocket? She said, no, never. At some point, did you begin traveling with the defendant to shows where he was performing? She said, correct. When you traveled with the defendant to performances, how would you travel? She said, on the Sprinter. Where do you recall traveling with the defendant for his performances? She said, we went several different places, really all over the U.S. She said, did you travel to any places in the East Coast? She said, yes. Where did you travel? She said, Charlotte, North Carolina, New York, Alabama. And did you travel to the West Coast as well? She said, correct. She didn't know what the West Coast was. Where in the West Coast that you recall? Arizona, Carolina. Is it fair to say that there are other places that you travel to with the defendant that you don't recall necessarily here today? She said, correct. Clearly. At any point, during the course of the time you were seeing the defendant, did you come to live with him? She said, yes. How soon into seeing the defendant did you begin to live with him? Wow. Check this out, y'all. I would say a couple weeks later. Dang, they moved fast, didn't they? He was telling Faith he loved her within the week, the same week. Wow. Okay. Okay. When you were living with the defendant and you weren't traveling on the road, where did you stay? She said mostly in hotels, but back and forth from the houses or studio or the trunk. So you mentioned houses. You previously testified about a house in Atlanta, correct? She said correct. Did you stay there? Sometimes. Okay. You also mentioned the trunk, correct? What was the trunk? What was the Trump? And she said in Chicago. Okay. Who lived? Is it fair to say Trump is a building, a residence? Right, a high rise, she answers. Who lived there? Robert did. She about to say I did. Yeah, she was about to say I did. That's my husband. I mean, that's my man. I'm a stick bomb. So defendant's home. She said correct. The lawyer asked Holly, could you spend time at the Trump? Holly responds, sometimes, not all the time. You also mentioned the defendant's studio. Holly says correct. Where was that studio located? Holly said that was also in Chicago. I'm not exactly sure where. Do you recall the address? Holly says, I don't recall the address. While you were with the defendant, did you ever have occasions to visit the doctor? Holly says, the doctor? I went to the hospital one time. Ooh. Getting into the meat of stuff, huh? And during your trip to the hospital, were you ever tested for a sexually transmitted disease? Holly says, yes. When you went to the doctor, did you go alone? She said, no. Who went with you? She said, Diana, the assistant at the time. When you say the assistant, whose assistant was she? She says, Roberts. And you testify that you had tested related to sexually transmitted diseases. Done. Did you get results back? Uh-oh. She says yes. Who received those results? She said the assistant. Whoa. Wait a minute. Wait a darn minute here. Is that legal, y'all? I mean, for real. Excuse my stupidity if it is, but is that legal to give another patient's medical information to someone else? Oh. Uh-oh. Oh. That's sticky. Who received those results? The assistant, Diana? Correct. Wow. Dang, y'all, they can get blasted for a lot of stuff. Y'all, they can get blasted for a lot of stuff. Okay. Did you ever speak to the doctor yourself with respect to your results? Y'all, she says no. Wow. Y'all, like for real. Can they actually do that? What? So she didn't get her own results, but the assistant of R.Kelly did? That's what I'm saying, Taylor, unless she waived her rights, but interesting. Wow. Y'all, we get into the thick of things. Anyways, let's continue. She says no. At any point, did the defendant learn about your results? She says, I'm not sure. Well, you were seeing the defendant. Did you come to meet any female individuals who were regularly with the defendant? She says yes. I'm showing what's in evidence as Government Exhibit 75C. We are going to refer to this individual as Jane. Oh, which Jane? Don't do us like this. Oh, this is horrible. Dang, I wonder what Jane it was. Anyways. Okay. Do you recall seeing Jane when you were with the defendant also? With the defendant. Hold on, let me scoop you. She says, yes. Using first names only and nicknames to the extent you know them. Who, if anyone else, do you recall seeing the defendant regularly with who were female? Here we go, y'all. She says Joycelyn, Dominique, V, when I first came around. That was pretty much it. Are you familiar with an individual nicknamed Juice? She says Juice, yes. Did you ever see Juice with the defendant? She said here and there, but not really. She would come to parties or something like that, but that was pretty much it. When you first began seeing the defendant, what, if anything, did the defendant tell you about who these women that we've just been talking about were to him? She said in the beginning, it was friends. You know, women he's cared about. He's cared about. Wow, y'all. He said that to Faith. They're friends. These girls are friends. You know, so don't worry about them. Remember that? Y'all, we got to remember. It's all corroborating. The defendant told you. She said, correct. At some point, did you have additional discussions with the defendant about the actual nature of his relationship with these individuals? She said, yes. Down the line, what, if anything, did he say? She said, there are women he cares about, and basically, yeah. What, if anything, did the defendant say about why these women were with him? She says because maybe their families, you know, they didn't want to be at home with their families and enjoyed more time being with him than being at home. Child, plant them seeds. Now, based on your own observations, at some point did you learn that Jane, Dominique, Juice, V, and Joycelyn were more than just friends of the defendant? She said yes. And how did you learn that? She said down the line with, you know, interactions and things like that. Now, at any point, did you observe any of these individuals engaged in sex with the defendant? Wow, she says yes. Now, during that time that you were with the defendant, did you also see the defendant with other women who we've not specifically discussed here today? She said, I don't recall. Now, during the course of your relationship with the defendant, what, if any, rules did the defendant have that he expected you to follow? She says no makeup, going outside, baggy clothing, baseball cap, getting permission to go to certain places. Do you recall any other rules with the respect to your communications with other people? She said, yes, communications kind of monitored. What do you mean by that? She says he would mostly be, you know, around if I spoke to someone or was on the phone. When you say he, are you referring to the defendant? She says, Robert, yes. You testified that one of the rules that the defendant expected you to follow was that you had to ask permission to go anywhere. Correct? She said, correct. What kinds of things did you need to request permission from the defendant in order to do? She said to leave the house, to go to another room. Dang, yeah. What, if anything, were you expected to do if you needed to go to the bathroom, for example? She said that was mostly during travel, like on the Sprinter. If he wasn't on the Sprinter, I would have to contact him before getting off to make sure it was okay to use the restroom. What, if anything, were you expected to do by the defendant if, say, for example, you wanted food? Reach an assistant to see if they could get it or get a hold of him? When you say him, do you mean the defendant? Robert, yes. Now, based on your own observations. Now, were the other women you've discussed, like Jane, Joycelyn, Dee, Juice, and Dominique, subject to similar rules as you? She said, I believe so, yes. And how do you know that? She said, just from being around them and, studying what's going on. Okay, so you testified that while you were on the sprinter, you would need to contact the defendant in order to leave the sprinter. Were there periods of time when you were on the sprinter for extended periods? Holly said, a few times, a few times traveling. The lawyer said, other than traveling. So if you are not on the road, but if the sprinter is parked somewhere, were there times where you spent extended periods of time on the sprinter? She said, I recall maybe 1 or 2 nights parked at a studio. Uh-oh. Where you spent time in the sprinter? She said, correct. Uh-oh. Hold on, y'all. Okay, because hopefully y'all know where I'm going to go with this. So she said, correct. And then she was asked approximately, how long did you spend in the sprinter? She said, overnight. She was asked, was the defendant with you? She said, yes, he would come. Was he with you for the entire time? She said, the entire time, no, but eventually he came and slept in the sprinter as well. Uh-oh. Do y'all remember when I read the text messages of the Suzette twins? Do y'all remember that? And they were talking about somebody being on a sprinter sleeping. They slept in there overnight. It was a time where Jane Doe number 5, which was Azrael, did. But then it was another time somebody else did, and they didn't disclose her name. So it's corroborating information, y'all. Okay, let's continue. Other than the defendant, while you were on the sprinter, who, if anyone else, would be with you? I told y'all I'm reading ahead. See? Y'all, baby, please. Okay. We're going to get there. Y'all going to see what I'm talking about. Other than the defendant while you were on the sprinter, who, if anyone else, would be with you? She said sometimes the assistants. Boom. Put some bombs in the chat. I just said that. And we read the assistant's testimony. Not testimony, because they lied. But remember, I read their text messages. Oh, let's see who the assistants was, shall we? Other than the defendant, while you were on the sprinter, who, if anyone else, would be with you? She said sometimes the assistants, mostly that would be pretty much it. The lawyer says, you mentioned previously 2 assistants. I believe you mentioned Diana and Suzette. She says, correct, or Lily sometimes. Who is Lily? She says she was like a helper, assistant to the defendant. She says, correct. And there were times where they were on the sprinter with you. Uh-oh. She says, correct. What, if anything, would you need to do if you were on the sprinter and needed to use the restroom? She says, I would use a cup. would you use a cup? She said, if there wasn't access to a restroom or we couldn't stop or anything like that. Let's say that you are stopped, so you are not on the road. What, if anything, you had testified that there were times where you needed to reach out to the defendant if you needed to leave the sprinter? She said, correct. Were there times where you needed to reach out to the defendant before you could leave to go to the restroom? She said, correct. Now, what, if anything, would you do if you couldn't reach the defendant? She said, use the cup. And when you say use the cup, do you mean urinate in the cup? She said, urinate only. That was it. Now, did there ever come an occasion where you left the sprinter to use the restroom without seeking the defendant's permission? She said, yes, I believe that happened one time. Uh-oh, what happened, girl? What happened, girl? What happened to you, girl? She said, what happened? Uh-oh, what happened? What happened to you, Holly? I just remember him being very upset. That was kind of before I really knew the full rules. When you say the defendant was upset, how do you mean? She says, just angry. It wasn't anything physical. It's just letting me know not to do that again. Now, when you were spending time in the sprinter, were there other rules in terms of things you could or could not do in the sprinter? She said, the blinds. What do you mean when you say the blinds? She said, just pulling them down. If he wasn't on the sprinter, what the hell? She says, if the defendant wasn't in the sprinter, how, if at all, would he know you were breaking one of these rules? She says, I believe I saw me being recorded at one point. What do you mean by being recorded? She says, when he was stopped off, I noticed there was an iPhone recording. Child. So they got evidence of, oh, wow. And you say you saw a recording. Correct. You also testified that on some occasions, you would spend time at the defendant's studio in Chicago. Is that correct? She said correct. Okay. Were there locations in the studio where you or the defendant's other girlfriend stayed in the studio? She said correct. Where in the studio would the defendant's other girlfriend stay? She said upstairs. When you say upstairs, what do you mean? She said there was a renovated part upstairs on the far left that had 3 rooms and a main living room, and that's where they would stay. The lawyer says, and were there specific rooms where the defendant's girlfriends would stay? She says, oh, sorry. She said correct. And what, if anything, would the defendant say when he wanted them to go to these designated locations? She said, take place. And what did you understand that to mean? Like, go wherever you're supposed to go. Go where you're supposed to be. In a particular room in the studio. She said correct. Now, when in these particular rooms in the studio, you had testified that you would need to get the defendant's permission in order to move around. Was this true in the studio as well? She said correct. Okay, you testified that one of the defendant's rules was also that he monitored your personal conversations with others. What do you mean by that? She says, just like I said, was around when I would be, make a phone call, or send a certain text. Were there any rules with respect to personal conversations involving the other girlfriends? She says, can you ask me that one more time? Sure. With respect to communications, to conversations that you had with the defendant's other girlfriends, did the defendant have any rules about the type of conversations you could have? Holly responds, yes. Just wanted it, no talk about, anything. How can I say this? No compliments to each other. No talk about social media or anything like that. No, nothing about him, obviously. Now, did you ever get in trouble with the defendant for breaking this particular rule? She said, yes, I believe one time. And what happened then? She says, I believe it was with Jane. I gave her a compliment and she told him, and he didn't like that. Oh, interesting. If I don't recall, y'all, and I'm gonna have to do my research. This was in like their text messages. You remember that? Where the twins was talking about something about, I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm gonna bring this back. Y'all remember that? Somebody put it in the chat and just be like, remember, Whitney, you said something about Holly complimenting a particular Jane. Put that in there, y'all. So when I run this back, I will remember to do my research. Okay. We got a few more pages because this is getting interesting. I'm gonna stop. I know this is becoming very long. We're already on 2 hours and 27 minutes. So just hang in there with me, y'all. This is getting juicy. I believe it was with Jane. I gave her a compliment and she told him, and he didn't like that. And did he express to you that he didn't like that? She said, yes. Now, you testify that one of the defendant's rules was that you had to wear baggy clothes. She said, correct. And you said no makeup and a hat. She said, correct. Uh-oh. I'm about to flex real quick. How many of you guys remember me posting a picture of Asriel, and she was on her way to graduation? Put your bombs in the chat if y'all remember me posting that particular picture. And it depicted how she was dressing for this particular for her graduation. How many of you guys remember that? How many of you guys can remember that? Because if you don't, I'm finna flex real quick. Just allow me to flex a little bit real quick, okay? I'm about to confirm what Holly is saying to be true. This is an exclusive image that you won't find anywhere else. So let me just see if I can find it real quick. Oh, I got it. I got what I can do. I'm about to confirm what Holly just said, y'all, because she's telling the truth about the hats and stuff like that. Let me pull it up. And again, this is about to be an exclusive image. No one has this. Okay, there it goes. Dang, y'all ain't gonna be able to see her hat, but yeah. I'll try to zoom in on it. Dang, y'all not gonna be able to see her hat. Let me see. Crap. Y'all not gonna be able to see her hat. I use this, but I'm gonna show it to y'all anyway. Let me flex real quick, just a little bit. Y'all know I don't be doing that too much over here, but let me just flex real quick. Just a little ski bit. I just want to prove what Holly is saying to be true. I don't know if y'all can see this. This is ass at her graduation. She has a leather hat on right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. I tried to zoom in as much as I could. That is ass with her hat on that Holly is mentioning of, as y'all can see right there. I can't really zoom in much more. Let me try to put my mouse over it. If y'all can see between here, because I wanted to scratch out her face. But this is a hat. It's a leather hat. It doesn't go with nothing this girl got on. And look at what she has on. Covered. Has some freaking long johns on and a sweat jacket with her hood on top of a leather jacket. This is what she wore in the smack dab in the middle of summer, okay, for her graduation practice. This is the other one. If you can see what everybody else over here got on versus what ass had on. I just wanted to show y'all that because Holly is not lying about how he had them dressing as far as their attire. Okay. I'm going to read a little more and then we're going to stop. Okay. A little more because this is getting very long. It's 2:30. We got 2 hours and 32 minutes in. So I'm going to read a little bit more and then we're going to stop. Okay. Because I don't want this to be too long. I'm already going to break it down for you guys. So don't worry about that. Okay. I'm going to break it down. Okay. And I'm going to break down the videos, okay? Because I know this is very lengthy, okay? But thank you guys for staying tuned in. You previously testified that there were times where you went out in public with the defendant. She says, correct. How did you dress for those appearances with the defendant? She says, sometimes would be chill, but most of the time it would be get cute. You know, and the lawyer says, who determined when you were able to dress up in, as you say, get cute? She said, Robert. Apart from the instances when you were with the defendant and he specifically told you that you could dress up, how would you dress up? I mean, how would you dress? She said, can you ask me that one more time? She said, sure. So you testified that there were times where the defendant did, in fact, say, get cute or dress up. Apart from those instances, would you follow the rule for baggy clothes, no makeup or hats? She said, correct. So we have been talking about various rules that you said the defendant had and expected you to follow. Were there any consequences if you did not follow these rules? She said yes. Okay. Did you personally experience any of these consequences for breaking the rules? She said yes. What, if anything, did the defendant do to you for breaking the rules? Wow, y'all peep this. Spankings. Or, you know, not going out and about in the day. There was really an option between the two. The judge says, I'm going to just ask you to keep your voice up. Holly says, sorry. And the judge says, oh, that's all right. The lawyer goes on to ask, you testify that spanking was one of the consequences. Holly says correct. Now, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But while you were with the defendant, did you ever have a cell phone? She said yes. Now, when you broke the defendant's rules, what, if anything, might happen with respect to your cell phone? It would be taken. Wow. Who would take it? She responds, Robert. Now, approximately, how many times did the defendant take your cell phone for breaking one of his rules? She said a few times. And what, if any, instances do you recall when the defendant took your cell phone? Generally speaking, for what reason? She said, are you asking what reasons? She said, yes. Maybe being on social media. I remember one time I think I was texting an ex. What the hell? Okay, sorry. What was you doing texting an ex anyway, girl? I wouldn't play that either. I'm just saying. Fair to say that there were other reasons that you can't recall. Yeah, because see, that makes it be more understanding. Y'all peep that? Holly kind of, anyways. There were other reasons that I can't recall. Yes. When the defendant took your cellular phone from you, how long would he hold on to your cellular telephone? She said sometimes a couple of days and sometimes a few months. Wow. So for everybody wondering what was going on and parents and stuff, yeah. Mm-hmm. He had their phone. He had their phone. That's why they would go months at a time, years, and not hear from them, especially if they're on punishment. Interesting. When you did have access to a cellular phone, what, if any, restrictions did the defendant place on the type of cellular phone that you could have? She said no social media, no internet, only could talk to certain people. And when you say certain people, who were the certain people? She said mainly my family, mom, dad. And when you did have your cellular telephone, were you able to use it freely whenever you wanted? She said, I wouldn't say freely because, no internet, not just pick up the phone and talk, Wait, what? No internet. Interesting. So what, he turned the internet off so they couldn't tap into the Wi-Fi? Interesting. And you testified earlier that the defendant would often monitor your calls. Holly says correct. Now, while you were with the defendant, did you have a job? She said no. Did you have your own bank account or credit card? She said, I believe I did. I don't think I had much in it, but yes. She was asked, did you have regular access to your own source of money? She said, I didn't have any income, so no. So if the defendant took your phone and you wanted to buy a phone, would you have been able to do that without his knowledge? She said no. In addition to holding on to your phone for certain periods of time, did the defendant ever hold on to any other important personal items or documents belonging to you? She said, I believe my passport. Now, you referenced that there were times where you had phones and you would, and you could not have special media on those phones. Prior to your being with the defendant, did you have any social media accounts? She said yes. Okay, so just a coincidence that she stopped using all her social media platforms, but no biggie, right? No biggie. What kinds of social media accounts did you have? She said Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Wow, with the defendant, what if anything happened to your Instagram account? She said, I had to deactivate it. Oh, that doesn't sound familiar at all. Let's continue. Why did you have to deactivate? Why did you have to deactivate it? I believe this was around the time a lot of the hype started with all of this, and just didn't want me having it. No, this nigga didn't want you to look and see about the freaking surviving R.Kelly and all that stuff. That's why, baby. That's why he had you deactivated. And yeah, he didn't want you to hear about this trial and all this stuff that's going on with your mans. That's what that is. When you say didn't want you having it, do you mean the defendant didn't want you having it? She said, I'm sorry, the defendant, correct. Did you in fact delete your Instagram account? She says correct. Oh, okay. So she just had all this social media popping before, but just a coincidence. Yeah, y'all. It wasn't because of R.Kelly. Abort that. It wasn't because of R.Kelly. Okay, it wasn't because of that. She just felt like it was time. Correct, she says. What were the circumstances under which you deleted it? She said, I just had someone sitting there to make sure it was completely deleted. Oh, on top of that, somebody had to bear witness to her deleting these accounts. Wow. Interesting. And who was sitting there? Lily. You mentioned that Lily was sort of an assistant for the defendant, correct? She says yes, correct. What was Lily's role in terms of being there while you deleted your Instagram? She said just to make sure I deleted it. And did you delete your Instagram account at the defendant's direction? She says yes. You previously testified with respect to certain rules that the defendant had you following. What, if any, rules were there with respect to your interactions with other men? She says, can you ask me that one more time? Sure. What, if any, rules did the defendant have about your interactions with other men? She said that there would be no interactions. What, if anything, were you supposed to do if you were in the presence of another man? She says, turn away. Now, you previously mentioned that the defendant would spank you as a form of punishment for breaking one of his rules. Correct. When was the first time that you learned that the defendant uses spankings as a form of punishment? She says, I believe in the Sprinter, and I feel it came across kind of like a joke, telling me, but it really wasn't a joke. Who was telling you this joke? The defendant. And at the time you believed it was a joke. Kind of, yeah, because did he refer to these spankings to you in any particular way? What do you mean refer? Did he call the spankings anything? Oh, no, just spankings. Okay, and when he at some point did you learn that when he referred to spanking as a punishment, that it was not in fact a joke? Correct. How did you learn that when it came down to it happening? When you say it happened, what do you mean? Like the actual spankings? Who spanked you? Rob. When the defendant spanked you, was this as punishment as you've testified? She said correct. Can you explain to the jurors, generally speaking, what would happen during these spankings? She says it would be just like spankings. What were you wearing during the spanking? Wow. Nothing. Like, oh, y'all, this is kind of triggering. And you said spankings. Would the defendant strike you? She said correct. Where would he strike you? She said the behind, backside. What would he use to strike you? She says his hand. At any point, were the spankings painful? She says yes. Did the spankings ever leave marks or bruises on your body? She said correct. How, if any, how, if at all, did you react when the defendant spanked you in this manner? I would cry. Were you visibly upset? Yes. Did you want to be hit in this way? No. At any point, did you ever say to the defendant that you enjoyed the spankings? Oh, boom. Do y'all remember defense saying that they was going to put that man on trial to, and I brought this to y'all as an update, that they was going to put that doctor on that could break down and depict like fetishes and what's that BDMB, whatever, you know, when they like, you like bondage and all this stuff like that. Wow, this is interesting. Let's see. Let me see if they're going to go that route. Okay, hold on. Let me bring this up so I can read it. She says, I believe yes, through text. Why did you say this? She says, because I was told to. Who told you? She says, Robert. We got one more page after this, you guys. I'm gonna stop at in 30 pages in. Wow. Yes, thank you. BDSM. Yes, they had a doctor. I don't know if they still did it or not. Thank you, love, for that. Let me put you on the screen. Thank you, honey bunches. They were going to bring somebody on trial that could depict that lifestyle to try to say that these girls liked it and stuff like that. So this is all corroborating with him trying to validate that. That's why he had her say that she liked it. So they can be like, look, you said you liked it. Boom. Man, I'm telling you, prosecution is dope. I don't know what people are hearing about defense, y'all. They asking the right questions to back up any kind of theory that the defense wants to say. And then this is also showing, you know, how he coerced her to say that. So when you text saying that you like the spankings, what would he have you say? She said, basically, I want you to come, you know, turns me on. So that's what you would be writing? She said, yeah. And is that something that you wanted to be happening? She said, no. How often would these spankings occur? She said, every now and then. The judge says, I'm sorry. You said every now and then. Holly says, every now and then. The judge says, what would cause it to happen? Again, why did he spank you? Holly responded, if it was something, some rule that you didn't abide by or something like that. The judge said, I see. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Did the defendant ever spank you in front of anyone else? Oh, Holly, baby, Holly is saying names, honey. She was spitting out names. She said, Dominique, I believe. Oh, Holly, baby, Holly singing like Holly is spitting out names. Let's go on. Where was this? She said on the Sprinter, she had her back turned. But Dominique was present when the defendant spanked you? She said she was present. Correct. Was that spanking part of punishment? She said correct. Did the defendant ever record these spankings? She said yes. OMG. Child. Wow. Wow. How did he record the spankings? She said on the iPad. At any point, did you ever tell any of the defendant's employees about having been spanking by the defendant? She said yes. Who did you tell? She said twin. And if y'all don't know who twin is, that's Suzette and them. They're the twins, y'all. And I'm telling y'all, in those text messages, they're talking about a Jane Doe being reprimanded, y'all. Do y'all remember me talking about this? Y'all got to go back to that video where I said that they lied on the stand, the twins. And in there, I'm reading the text messages. Child. Let's continue. And twin, I believe you testified that's Suzette. Suzette, yes. Oh, yep, we read them. We read them, baby. What did you tell her? She says, I believe I showed her, like the red mark. Where was the mark that you showed her? On my backside. Did you ever speak to anyone else who was employed or who worked with the defendant about the defendant having hit you? She said, correct. Who did you speak to? Cash. Oh, goodness. And who is Cash? She was a stylist, the defendant's stylist. Correct. We're going to stop there and get into this. We stopped on page 2844. We're going to start at on page 2845. Wow, y'all. Okay. So the reason why they're asking that you report any of this, because now the blame is on these employees. Okay? And they are not reporting any of this to any of the authorities, y'all. Wow. And she did. She told them. Wow, y'all. Let's talk about this real quick. I got a good 5 minutes. Wow. DJ said, yes, I remember. And Twin said she pulled her shorts down and showed her. Wow, 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 wow. And they didn't go and report nothing. They didn't report anything, DJ. Nothing. Wow. Interesting. Jay, good question. Does she even know what she has? We have no idea. I think the world may never know. I don't think we know. I don't think we will know. Maybe on down the line we'll hear in the transcripts. Maybe they'll come back to it. Hey, Kimmy. Hey, honey. They should have spanked R.Kelly with that 2x4. Right upside his head. All those people who knew and didn't say anything should feel ashamed of themselves. Oh, they do. Remember, y'all, Suzette and Alzette, whatever her name is, her sister, was crying on the stand. Remember that picture that they had shown where I think it was Suzette had that tissue in her hand, she crying? Girl, bye. I have no sympathy for any of these enablers, any of these runners, any of these grown people. Mind you, none of these people that he hired were kids or teenagers or interns. These were all grown-ass individuals. And they said nothing. So that's the reason why I be like, miss me with that whole, where are the parents crap? Clearly, they were not put in the loop of any of this. It's really hard for me to believe that any parent would subject their children to this knowingly. Willingly subject your children to go through this, knowing what they're going through. I just can't believe that. Jay says, don't hire Gloria Allred and don't do interviews during an ongoing court case. The thing with that is that it's going to come back and bite you in the butt. Your best bet is to shut your mouth and let the chips fall where they may. Kind of what T.I. and Tiny did. They laid low. They really didn't too much talk at all when all that stuff was going on. And did y'all hear that? I think it got dropped, if I'm not mistaken. Do I believe it was any truth to it? I do. I think old girl went at it by wrong. I think she went at it in the wrong manner, but I think it was some validity to that whole situation. DJ says, not a thing, Whitney, a thing. They didn't say nothing. They didn't report this crime. So yes, they're going to get in trouble for this. That's why I was telling y'all the other day. It's one thing, yes, to say about parents and stuff like that. And like I told y'all on tonight, today is Wednesday. So what does that mean for the newcomers that aren't aware? Tonight is Where Were the Parents Wednesday here on the channel. So you guys got to tune in at 7:30. We're actually going to look into two different parents. I'm trying to stay with this whole R.Kelly trial. So we're going to look at the parents of Faith. We're going to look into her parents, as well as another set of parents that have nothing to do with this R.Kelly situation or whatever. But tune in tonight, okay, for that, all right? But not for nothing, we yell out parents and stuff like that. But the thing is that, do you really think if they was privy to any of this stuff that they would just sit there and be like, oh, well, I don't think so. I don't think so. You guys are entitled to your opinion. I don't think so. Even the parents that, because, we do know some of the parents were involved, some, not all. Even those parents, I think that once they heard testimony of what their child was going through, I think they feel real crappy right now. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Let me see what you guys are saying. Linda says, I'm settling with my doobie intrigued. He says, yep, Whitney, how could they go with their head held high in the world? I don't know. And old girl, what's her name? Copeland. Didn't she do an interview? And she all sitting pretty and stuff like that on that interview and act as if she didn't see anything and she don't know nothing. You lying helpful. See, those people like that make my skin itch. Make me want to go off of them and expose them. See, those are people that I would bring my channel down a notch and expose them behind. Because that's disgusting. And many of these people working for this man have children. Jay says, I don't feel sorry for Demetrius Smith either. I don't either. He didn't even want to testify, but he saw all what he saw. It's good hearing Halle's testimony. Prior, I couldn't figure out why she always appeared like the main girlfriend out in public, wearing skimpy clothing, getting lavish parties, but she's suffering too. Right. Thank you, DJ. This is the reason why I was excited to hear this testimony too. Aside from Faith, I'm going to tell you the reason why I was excited and why I wanted to depict both of these young ladies' testimony. First off, they were grown. These were women. And you see no difference from the young ladies, the girls that he messed up with. These are grown women. Okay. So aside from everything, he still abused them. You get what I'm saying? So it's not like, those were kids that were fast. And what was the excuse for these grown women? Faith wasn't even checking for him. Faith wasn't even checking for him. And you hear the chain of events that she went through that transpired with him. Her being exposed to genital herpes. You know what I'm saying? It's just and then look at her. Everybody was like, yeah, he really liked Halle. And she was all on these interviews and stuff. He sent her out because what? Let's be real. Let me pull her up. She's racially ambiguous. Okay. She's racially ambiguous. She's pretty. Let's not get that misconstrued. Halle is not ugly by far. We're not going to do that. And I don't hate. Look at Halle. She's pretty. Gorgeous. Okay. But it makes you think, hearing all this testimony, the setup of it all. The setup of it all. Of course, he's going to have her out in public, seeing that she's healthy. Oh, she can dress, she can do with everything, but by the direction of this man. And y'all got to know that this was all set up to make it seem like, oh no, he has a girlfriend. This stuff can't be true. And you get what I'm saying? Man, say the plot thickens, yo. Linda says, don't throw shade at almost 9 p.m. here in UK. Morning for you, but night for me. Oh, thank you for tuning in. That's why I went early, y'all. I'm not going to lie to you. And I'm going to try to come a little more earlier during the day because I come late at night, very late at night. And it's early morning for other people. But I'm going to try to rotate. That's why I'm trying to get my schedule down to where you guys got different things to look forward to. Okay. I'm going to try to, this is really going to be TV for y'all here soon. I'm working on reality shows here for the channel. I'm working on more documentaries and I'm working on content for you guys. Okay. So you guys are tuning into a real good channel. I promise you are. Kimmy says, yes. Last Wednesday was so good. Yeah. Last Wednesday we had the Clarys come on. Miss Angelo was representing for them both, but yeah, we got into a real good. It was 3 hours long. So y'all got to look into that or what have you. Jay said, I don't believe T.I. and Tiny just have a freaky side to them. Did you do one on Aaliyah's parents? I'm going to, Jay. If y'all could do me a huge favor, because this is new for me, all this research and stuff like that. Y'all know I don't dig deep like that. I really don't. But I be having a lot of people in my emails. If y'all can email me anything in pertaining to any kind of stories that y'all want me to dig up on people, y'all were talking about juice and all this stuff like that, please email it to me. I'll do the research. I definitely would do the research, okay? But y'all got to give me time. But send me emails and say, hey, Whitney, look into this person. Hey, Whitney, can you do a conspiracy theory on this? I'm big on the whole vaccines and stuff like that, okay? I'm big on that, you know what I'm saying? So y'all just send me emails in regards. I'm gonna leave that on the screen while I read y'all comments before we head out. But yeah, my Wednesdays be popping, y'all, and Fridays be popping too. Where's that comment? Oh, okay. Okay. Let me go back down. DJ says, I'm curious, what made Summer so special though? Like, why was she the main and got to keep her pregnant until unfortunately miscarrying? Well, okay, and I usually don't do this, but Tasha K actually covered Summer. This is not Summer, however, this is Holly, but Summer was a black girl. That was one of his first girls. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken, y'all can tell me in the comments if I'm right or wrong, but she broke down Summer. She broke Summer down to how he came about her, like the relation, the dynamics, and all of that. You got to check her out. Nikki says, all for the money. Yep. Mary says, sick. These enablers have their own kids. Shake my head. Where is Keith? Exactly. If I'm not mistaken, Suzette has a daughter that's, if not the age, but close to the age of Asriel. And, you know, it's ridiculous. He says, Whitney, yeah, she pissed me off because she had no shame. None. Copeland is sickening, to say the least. Did she do a book or an insert? By the way, let me let y'all know about that. I need to get my phone charged up because, baby, I'll be getting sent exclusives. But I'm gonna tell y'all real quick. Hang in there. Hold on. Let me get my phone charged because I gotta tell y'all something about something real quick. Hold on. Okay, I'm back, y'all. So it was an insert going around that was alleging to be a letter, okay? A letter to the parents from Diane, right? That's not true. That was not a letter. That was a start of a book that this idiot was trying to come out with. And in this book, with her silly, retarded self, she admits to seeing porn happen right before her. And I say, matter of fact, let me show y'all this. Okay. I'm gonna share my screen with this, okay? Because this was posted in that group that I'll be trying to tell y'all to go to. And this is exclusive. Not really exclusive. I'm just playing with y'all. But check this out. Just to let y'all know what's popping and what's going on. And this is by way of Angelo, okay? Okay. So this is in the R.Kelly case group that I was telling y'all about. Okay. So I'm gonna read what was said here first, okay? And then I'm gonna get into what Mr. Angelo posted. Okay, so Neat of the group, she's an administrator. She said, so now we all know the facts about the 5-page quote unquote letter that has been floating around social media and in this group. Per Angelo, it was actually from a book that Cheryl Mack wrote that never got published. She shared that book with the Savages, who then shared it with the Clarys. And she said, I will post that live in the comment section if anyone wants to hear him read it. Okay, Cheryl lied. So bad on the stand. I hope they get her as well. And Atmos Love Zone did read that. And I actually have the insert myself, y'all. If y'all would like for me to read it, put it in the chat. But you guys can't go over to Atmos. But if you want to stay grounded here, let me know. I have the inserts. Okay. But let's read what Mr. Angelo had to say in regards to what is put out there in the ether. Per Mr. Angelo says, Cheryl Mack wrote a book and shared it with the Savages, who then shared it with the Clarys. Then all hell broke loose for her. Not a letter, but a book. Cheryl got fired over Asriel. When you want the real facts, just reach out. Whitney D TV will be having Never Seen Truth and major facts about how we all got here. Some are doing a good job, but the facts are not correct. So, as I tell you guys, you are in the right place when it comes to any facts pertaining to this trial or anything pertaining to the Clarice or whatever the case may be. Okay. Now, this was from Mr. Angelo himself. Okay. So this is not something that I am just putting out there. Y'all know I really don't flex that much, but this is a little light flex. A little light flex or whatever. But yeah, so I wanted to share that with you guys. But that insert that's going around, that's not what that is. But I do have the insert again. If you guys would like for me to read it, it's from the book that it will never see the light of day if it's up for Mr. Clary. I'm telling you, it will never. The case says, then she committed perjury on the stand. Yes, she did. It's gonna come back and bite her in the butt. Yep, it's gonna come back and bite all of them back in the butt. Okay, all of them are gonna reap what they sow by getting on this stand and doing what they're doing. And that's just on period. Good luck with that. Jay said the Savages are literally the worst people to share anything with. Nee said, read it, Whitney, please. I will. Okay, but let me see. I want majority wins. Do y'all want me to read the insert from Cheryl Mack's book that will never see the light of day? Or do y'all want to go over to at Miss Love Zone's channel and he read it? He depicted, he read it. But I do have it, y'all. I do have it. I just want to make sure that I'm giving you guys something that you're interested in. That's what my channel is about, y'all. I don't mean to bore y'all. I don't mean to be long-winded. I don't mean to be over animated, but I just want to make sure that this is somewhere where you guys go and y'all enjoy coming. So let me see. Okay. All right. Well, I'll get all that lined up. Okay. Do y'all want me to do it live or do you want me to do a pre-reading? Okay. See a lot of yes, because I can always just record it and then put it up for y'all. So do y'all want it pre-read or live? And then we finna get ready to roll up out of here. Live. Okay. See, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so okay, so I got 5 reads. I need to see 5 lives if that's it. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. So, okay. I'll read it, y'all. And it's not that many pages, but it's a lot. It's a lot. It's like 6 pages, but it's full. It doesn't matter. Live. Okay. All right. See, I love y'all. This is y'all channel. I'm not ever going to get that misconstrued because without y'all, I wouldn't have one. So I'm not finna sit here and play with myself like that. Like, nah. What y'all want, I'm going to give y'all. So, okay. I'm just writing this down. I'm going to figure out the timing. Okay, what works best for you guys? Do y'all like when I come early mornings or afternoons or evenings while I got y'all here? And y'all in the bushes, come out. It's 83 of y'all and only 5 people responding. Come on now. But a lot of y'all watching playback. I can see that now. But if y'all can answer me that also. Do y'all prefer me coming early mornings, afternoons, or evenings? Evening? Okay. I got one evening. And when I come evening, you guys, it's going to be 7:30 Central Standard Time. I'm in Texas. Evening. Okay. Evening. Thank you, Whitney. Evening is good. You're welcome. I'm serious, y'all. This y'all channel. I mean, and I'm serious. I watch my algorithm. I watch what y'all like. I watch what y'all don't like. When I see low numbers on stuff, I'll be like, okay, they don't like that. Let me try something else. That's why I got majority of this R.Kelly stuff, because y'all seem to really like this stuff. I don't know what makes me different. I would like to know that too. Why y'all like hearing that stuff from me when there's so many people on here reading I don't know, but I guess that really don't matter. I appreciate y'all so much. Kay says, I'm military retired, so it doesn't matter to me. Okay, KD. Thank you, my love. Monica said, Rocky says, hey, y'all, I was in the bushes laughing loud working while I lived. I called your butt out. Get out them bushes. I don't want you to get mosquito bites. Okay. I just needed to know that. Monica says, I'm so mad. I couldn't say anything because I was diving. I came on a while. It's okay. It's okay. You're fine. That's why I be trying not to make these lives be so long, because I know y'all be watching playback, and I know your girl is long-winded. I'm so sorry. I just love y'all, and I just don't be wanting to get off. I'm not even gonna lie. I will sit on here and talk to y'all all day. I will, because y'all my people. Y'all really are. Besides the little trolls that we have, y'all are some beautiful individuals. Y'all really are just trying to be informed. Y'all want to do better with yourself. Y'all with me by holding everybody accountable. I definitely appreciate y'all. Jay said, you don't yell, Tasha K. I think, you know what, though? I can be a little pitchy. I can. I'll be listening back. I can. Okay, I can. I can be a little pitchy. You know, I'm very animated, so I'm working on that. Niche said, because you're the truth and you make me laugh. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Monica says, I'm going to say something for those that weren't on here when I said it. Monica says, the New York traffic, but I will be ready tonight at 7:30. Okay, so just for those that didn't hear, Monica, I'll be in your town, child, because the New York Times is covering a story with me. Yeah, so they reached out to me the other day and said that they did the interview, and then they told me from the interview what they're going to be pulling. So it's official, y'all. When it comes out, we're going to read it together, and then I'm going to let you guys hear the interview because I actually recorded it. Okay. Kamiko says, I'm here watching the playback too. Have a great day, Whitney. I knew it. That's why I said, okay. It's a lot of people in here. They probably watching the playback. Jade, wait a minute. Niche says, don't change, Whitney. I won't, y'all. When I tell y'all this is it, y'all have heard me cry. Y'all have seen my ugly, but I'm not ugly. Let me stop. Y'all seen my ugly cry. You've seen me lose. You've seen me win. You see me get mad. You've seen all these emotions because I'm authentic. And that's what I want you guys to get over here. And I don't hide it because it's not real. It's not real. We as individuals, we go through things. We rise, we fall. You know, we have questions. We need answers. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here to go on that journey with you. But y'all, I'm competent and intelligent enough to where I can articulate something. I don't have to cuss at nobody. I don't have to yell. I don't have to scream. I don't have to expose nobody. Like, none of that's necessary. It's not going to be conducive to the betterment of anybody. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you can expect over here at Whitney D TV, like dead serious. And if you don't like that, you got choices. That's what makes YouTube so unique. You can travel anywhere on here and get the energy that you're looking for. You want somebody that's hooping and hollering? You got the likes of Tasha K that are more on the salacious side of their content. You don't want all that. You want more thorough research and in-depth discussions. You got the likes of Lovely T, which I adore her. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you got that side that just is salacious or conspiracy theorists, you know, you got people that are like that. You know, that's why I changed my name from Reviews with Whitney D to Whitney D TV, because I'm going to show you guys all of that. When I tell you I got some good content for this channel coming for you guys, I'm excited. And it's going to be because of y'all. Y'all are so supportive. I really appreciate you guys. I'm not going to cap on here and be like, oh, I don't need this. No, I do. I need y'all. I genuinely appreciate y'all. Like, dead serious. I feel like y'all my people, you know, like seriously. Seriously. Jade says, that's just the Southern in you. My Southern folks are just happy people. You know what? I think so. Yeah, y'all. I'm in Texas, okay? Can't y'all hear that? I'm in Texas, all right? Now, we don't all ride horses around here, but we're good people, okay? If I see you, I'll wring your neck and give you there a great hug. I promise you I will. Monica said, hi, Whitney, sis, you doing such a good job. Thank you, honey bunches. Congratulations. Thank you, Mary Blue. And if you can print it, Monica, Girl, please, if you can send me a copy of that, that would be so dope. Oh, that would be dope, Monica. If you could send me a copy of my article, if you know you find it or whatever, I'll let you know when it come out. I'll let all y'all know. Rocky said, congratulations. Thank you so much. Linda says, hey, everyone here. Hit the like. Please do. Share. Please do that. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Yes, and move it from personalized to all, because sometimes YouTube be tripping when you don't move that that setting. We love your support. Want to donate? Cash Out, Super Chat, Zelle, PayPal, and membership. Your support always welcome. It really is, y'all. Like, seriously, it really is. And that's the way that I can keep the lights on, okay? Kay says, authenticity, yeah, I can't say that word. I'm not going to lie to you. Authenticity is one of the reasons why we're here. Thank y'all. And this is what it is. I'm not changing for nobody. That's why I tell y'all who I'm connected to. That's who I'm connected to. Seriously, I ask you, if y'all saw me in connections with somebody, right? And I've been on the channel with them. I've been, you know, talking about them. And then I just, after strange, clear blue sky, just start talking crap about them. Wouldn't y'all look at me like upside my head? I'm just saying, like, I don't like people like that. You stay loyal and you address any concerns outside. Like, that's what I do. I would never check my husband in front of nobody. I just got that respect, you know. Niche says, yep. And on this channel, you know, you're not alone. You're not alone. Like, seriously, y'all can connect with me. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. Y'all said I was going to leave, and y'all steady coming in here. Oh, watch, y'all going to be in my comments. Are you long-winded? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to leave y'all. Y'all so stinking sweet. I wish I could hug y'all. Kay says, you are relatable, and we love you. I love y'all, too. Dang it. Y'all getting on my nerve. I'm supposed to be gone a long time ago. 86 Miss Hazel says, Dallas, stand up, D-Town. I'm from the Grove. Hey, I represent the Grove. That's more up. Look, man, say, if y'all really want to see how your girl is, y'all have to tune in on Fridays, okay? Seriously, y'all have to tune in on Fridays for... Yes, y'all, music and combos on Fridays. We get so lit on this channel. I'm like so serious. We get so freaking lit on this channel. Oh, hey, Kamiko, H-Town, represent. What it do? Amber. She says, hey, Miss Whitney in chat. I'm late again. I love Whitney DTV because I found that Miss Whitney speaks the truth and practice what she believes. No fake front stuff, message with a purpose. Like, that's serious. She'll tell you she's staying in my DMs, and I'm okay with that. Y'all got some issues, I promise y'all. I prefer you to hit me up, okay? I prefer you to hit me up. Like, seriously, I've been there, especially in these times right now. It's crazy, y'all. That's why I go so hard for y'all on my channel. I try to be diverse on this channel because I mean, dang, it's so hectic out here. Amber says, I'll catch the playback again. Laugh out loud. I'll get it together at some point in time. It's okay. We were actually talking about timing and stuff like that anyways. So you're fine. Jay says, YouTube stay tripping. Censorship is a problem for this platform. It really is. That's why I'm trying to build this network up with you guys so I can move on up out of here. I actually have an anchor, a podcast, but I don't know. I got another question for y'all. Do y'all prefer when I'm doing this podcast or when I'm on camera? What do y'all prefer? And fun fact, I did radio, y'all. I did radio before I did YouTube. I didn't even know YouTube existed, but I did a podcast. I used to do podcasts. So yeah. But what do y'all prefer? Y'all prefer seeing me or y'all be like, it don't really matter? But Jay said both. I already saw that coming in. Let's see. Morning, so I can listen while I work. Laugh out loud, Danielle. Oh, you know what? y'all get on my nerve. Y'all spoil. Because what I'm thinking is I'm gonna do something in the morning. I'm gonna do something in the afternoon. I'm gonna do something in the evening. Y'all spoil. Y'all little spoil buds. Dadgummit. Let me see. Miss J said evening. I predominantly come through the evening because you know, I got kids. Hell, I gotta make sure they good, you know. Linda says Amber Johnson be replay gang, but super interesting, awesome content and delivery from Whitney. Thank you. Miss J says it's your energy that keeps me here. Oh, we're here. More energy. Feel it. You're doing good. You're doing great. Anytime you feel like you're not, y'all run this back. You're good. You're good. You can get through it. To whom much is given, much is required. You're good. You're not your past. You're your future. Okay? Anything you declare and decree will manifest. You got this. Today is not over. You're still breathing. You're still here. You're good. Y'all got this. Niche says, Whitney. Okay, well, we'll let you go about your day, I guess. Or whatever. It's gonna be, y'all, we've been on here for 3 hours. It's gonna be 3 hours and 30 minutes. And y'all butts are still just piling up in here. I'm done with y'all, okay? But she said, oh yeah, Fridays are so fun. They are, y'all. Seriously, if you've not tuned in, if you got time for real, y'all, please tune in on Fridays. Now, like I said, tonight is Where Are the Parents Wednesdays. Okay. But oh goodness, I picked the wrong thing. Hold on. Okay. Yes, like I was saying, tonight, of course, it's Wednesday. So it's Where Are the Parents Wednesdays. However, on Fridays, if y'all want to chill, kick it, have a good time, shoot the ish with me personally, one-on-one, we be doing karaoke. We are lit, okay? It's a different experience. And I'm telling y'all, there's so many faces to this Gemini, and y'all see it that day. We be dancing, we be having fun, like for real. But yeah, so if you have never experienced a Friday, make it happen. Jade said both. So you like seeing me on camera and you okay with this? Okay, cool. Amber says, I like to see your beautiful face in commentary. Okay. He says, seeing you because your faces crack me up. Jay says, I'm a night owl. Linda says, Whitney goes live at 1 to 2 a.m. here. Next, let's see if I'm still awake. Whitney, what time is it for you? Right now, it's 2:54 p.m. It's in the afternoon for me. Yep, it's in the afternoon for me. Hey, purple. See, you see what I'm saying? Y'all behinds keep piling up in here, and I'm trying to go. I know y'all want to be clowning me in the comments about me being long-winded. This gonna be a 3 hour and 30-minute live, y'all. Y'all do not love me that much. Stop it. Linda says, Faith and Holly had almost the same treatment as kids. Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's no different. Okay, let me wrap this up. I love y'all, but I got to get ready for tonight, okay? And I got to wrap this up because y'all want to see me. So I got to confirm if some people going to come through and all of that. So I got to get to work. And here soon, my baby's going to be out. Lord, I've been on here with y'all all day. Okay. So, yeah, let me wrap this up with you guys, okay? But what I'm going to try to figure out is we're going to read R.Kelly's book, and I'm going to be simultaneously reading both Holly and Faith's transcripts. So we're going to take care of all of that. Katie says the devil is a lie. We do love you that much. I love you more. Stop it. Okay. So let me go ahead and wrap this up so it won't be too long for you guys. Like I said, I'm breaking down the other videos that are long in length. And I'm going to break down the segments individually so you guys will be able to see them, okay? But not for nothing, thank you guys so freaking much. Like, I love y'all. Seriously, like, always remember that. You know, if anything ever happens to me, remember that. Okay, remember that Whitney, man, she had real true love for us. And if I ever get to meet y'all one day, seriously, y'all will see. Whitney she cool. Anyways, thank you guys for keeping it cute. We had to give some boots, but that's all right. Y'all learn, okay, to tread lightly. All right, not for nothing. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Okay, make sure you like this video and share it as caring. Grab this video, share it. If you laugh, share the laugh with somebody else. Okay, not for nothing. If you want to take this a step further, you can join the channel and support me on a month-to-month basis. We have a few different tiers that you guys can choose from in order to further support my channel. I already see that we got some idiots in the, okay, there we go. Sorry. Join the channel, you know, on a month-to-month basis. I'm actually going to start by putting all of my exclusive tea to my members. Yeah. I'm gonna put all the stuff that I had to cover up faces for. I had to, you know what I'm saying, you know, hide until a certain date. You members are gonna get that first. Yeah. Y'all gonna get that first. You know what I'm saying? I'm just confirming. You want searchers, we can send emails. Yes. Oh my God, yes. Linda. Yes. If you want to be a part of of my research team, send me an email. I'm about to tell my email, but please send me an email because I need one. Because I can't search all this content. I can, but it's time consuming. So Linda, good idea. But anyways, click the link in the chat and you can join the channel and support me on a month-to-month basis. If you want to support me direct, here's my Cash App. If you don't have Cash App, I have PayPal, I have Zelle, and that's all located at the bottom of the screen going across the screen. Okay. And now it's your turn to tell me what you think about what we discussed on this morning, this afternoon. And not for nothing, you guys, if you guys want to send me anything pertaining to anything, send it to reviewswithwhitneyd@gmail.com, and I will definitely take a look at it and I'll respond. I definitely will respond. Now, if you're trying to embark on your YouTube journey and you need help with the intro, outro, you know, any kind of business need, contract writing, any of that, you can most definitely hit me up at whitneydavisplanning.com or my email at whitneydavisplanning@gmail.com. Jade, you said, did I catch your remix? What remix, my love? On your channel? Let me know because I'll go look. Okay. But not for nothing, you guys. That is everything. Again, tune in tonight. Same back place, same back time at 7:30 p.m. where we discuss where were the parents. Okay. Not for nothing, you guys. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. Again, I will see you guys on tonight at 7:30 here on Whitney D TV, as well as on Friday where we, you know, get real crunk. Okay, so let's end on the note that we always end on. Let me grab it. Y'all already know what's up. Okay, y'all know what time it is. Okay, for you playback people, I'm sorry. Let me see. It says about whatever time works best for you. In the chat, you said it's a remix in the chat. Jay, you gonna have to send it to me. Let me see. YouTube stay tripping. Jay, yeah, I don't see it, baby. Send it to my email. Send it to me direct. Okay. All right, you guys. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Okay. And I will see you guys tonight. Okay. Let's get up out of here. I'm
trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment.
Y'all let me with this. Y'all let me with this. Y'all let me with this. Y'all let me. Y'all gotta kill me. Y'all let me with this. Y'all let me with this. Y'all let me with this. and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment.
Yeah. Yo, let me with this. Yo, let me with this. Yo, let me with this. Yo, let me. Y'all gotta kill me. Yo, let me with this. 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 Let me get. Gotta kill me. Gotta kill me. Y'all wanna believe it? Gotta kill me.